Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Yeah, hey, Chanka, how you doing? Also, hello, Megan and Asai there in chat. Yeah, okay, so, first of all, I'm gonna apologize to everyone immediately, because, oh god, I feel miserable today. Okay, if I could show you my phone, I would, but I don't want to because I'd just dox myself, but holy shit, the sinus index today is out of this world. I feel like I'm talking with like 4 large balloons blown up inside my sinus cavity. Shit sucks, man. I'm just doing fine, making brownies for our work party. Got an hour. Oh, that's cool. I hope you have fun with that, dude. Also, hey hipster. Also, I also want to apologize to the people on the Twitch end of things. I accidentally had my announcement saying I'm playing Arc Raiders still up when I started the stream. That was not very smart of me. I fixed that. I don't know if it rebroadcast that, but hey, listen, nobody anywhere said that I actually know what I'm doing. Okay. But, right, yeah. So yeah, how have y'all been? How's your week been? So how was your weekend more importantly, you know? I mean, mine was okay. You know, did the usual stuff, the watch-alongs on the Discord server. Got some stuff. I ended up preparing for Winter Nexus and EVE Online. I'm gonna be playing that tomorrow. But what's this? I just got back from an exam. Was tough, but my dad bought you food. That's cool. I'm glad you got through it, hipster. Hey, Harkin, how you doing? Yeah. Right. So, I don't want to get you know bogged down in too much hot preamble. So I'm gonna switch this on over to the discussion. Now, I'm gonna preempt this with something. I'm gonna preempt this stream with something, okay? I do not consider drama, like VTuber drama, my purview. It's not something I normally cover, and probably will not normally cover, ever. But I feel like this situation is stupid enough, basically, to justify me covering it for a change. Like, to actually talk about this, because, like, this was gonna be a very simple discussion topic. Like, I was just gonna, oh, this happened, this guy's fans are a bunch of toxic morons. The streamer industry are you know, being very obviously backing this guy because they don't like VTubers. It's very simple stuff like that. But then it's kind of changed over time as the situation has gotten worse. So yeah, well, we're gonna be covering it in a little more detail than I planned. But again, if I'm not good at covering this, I will apologize ahead of time. I don't cover VTuber drama. I normally do not cover that. So this is outside my usual range of tism. So yeah, just understand that going into this. Been doing well, but the blackpilling from some people in regards to the whole Netflix Warner Brothers situation is cringe. Yeah, I'll touch on that real quick before we get into this. Like, it's like people are saying Netflix owns Godzilla now because Legendary publishes through Warner, and you know they handle the American Godzilla films. And it's like, yeah, no, Legendary isn't owned by Warner Brothers, so Netflix doesn't own them. They publish through Warner Brothers, but they fund and produce the films themselves. Also, Toho owns Godzilla anyway, so I mean it's basically irrelevant. Like, Netflix doesn't own Toho and never will, so yeah. But yeah, no, and there's the fact Paramount might buy them out anyway, so I mean, might end up buying out Warner anyway, so yeah, whatever. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the streamer awards a little bit. Okay, so full disclosure at the start. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, full disclosure. Yeah, the stream awards. Okay, look, we all know it's a giant nepo baby backpatting ceremony by all the stuck up, all the stuck up streamer insiders you can imagine, like this, like Hassan and all that, like Hassan Piker and all his sycophants, you know, whoever the hell this QT Cinderella person is, like, okay, look, I'm gonna be 100% with you until I found out I didn't know who the hell a QT Cinderella was until, like, yesterday, all right? That's how irrelevant all these people are to me. I don't know who any of these people are. Like talking about like stream, like these big famous people. They're big famous people in the streamer scene, and it's like, who the hell are you people? Like, I can't even remember any of their names. I mean, if anything, that to me, that just goes to show, you know, unbelievably botted they are, that, like, I don't know who any of them are. Because we all know the botting situation with, you know, popular streamers on Twitch is really bad. That's why they laser focus on small streamers and VTubers for the, you know, their, bot countering algorithm. Because they wouldn't dare insult their, you know, guy, lots of numbers named, you know, popular streamers, air quotes. You have to say you've never actually heard of this peanut guy before. Hey, listen, Delta Ghost, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world before the other day, all right? I'd never heard of this guy before, and I've got my own beliefs on that, like, yeah, but Wheelchair Latina is a corporate plant who has had her followers dox people who criticize her in the past. I don't know who that is, Harkin. I have no idea who that is. Yeah, so okay, so let's do the super. Oh, Nitro Thunder 21. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Crusade. But yeah, okay, let's do the super simple version. Okay. What do you call it? The streamer awards happened. It was a bunch of literally who's patting each other on the back. A bunch of literally who's and Hassan Piker patting each other on the back. You know how it goes, right? You know, they're all jerking each other, jorking each other, like talking about how great each other are, throwing tasteless jokes about the fact that Hassan Piker tortures his own dog. You know, free Kaya. But you know, you expect this from like an industry insider thing, right? Like, it's the kind of thing you expect, right? So, but what ended up happening though, like, and I'm gonna say, I feel like this was 100% planned ahead of time by these people. That's my nickname for Iron Mouse, but fair that you didn't care about this fake and gay streamer scene. Listen, I don't follow most popular streamers because they're a bunch of literally who's. So yeah, when it comes to Iron Mouse, well, I'm gonna comment on Iron Mouse in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna get to that. But dude, I never even heard that this event was happening. Like, I was like, there was an award show. I mean, yeah, like, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'd heard about the streamer awards a couple days ago. I maybe even briefly commented on it. Maybe. I don't really remember it that well. Making really bad jokes about a black guy who looks like P. Diddy. I didn't hear about any of that. Again, a lot of these who are you people popular streamers are completely outside my realm of attention because they don't matter. You know. Now, but here's the thing though. The thing that caused all the mess was the fact that this guy, the Burnt Peanut, a guy I literally never heard of until this happened, won the best VTuber award. Now, hey Ramen, how you doing? How you doing, dude? But now to give you an idea, he was up against people like, say, Maury Calliope and Iron Mouse, and, you know, a bunch of other really popular, successful VTubers. and he won the best VTuber award. And a lot of VTubers are, I'm gonna say rightfully calling this out as basically, you know, the streamer establishment deliberately snubbing VTubers for a guy who, for context, he's not a VTuber. This guy's not a VTuber. He uses a apparently out of date Snapchat filter or something like that. So he's using his real face with a Snapchat filter. So no, he's not a VTuber. It does not matter how people try to say he's not a VTuber. They try to say he is a VTuber. He's not one. So let's get that right off the bat, you know, straight away. You can call him a VTuber. That is your opinion. Your opinion is wrong. So that's just the end of that discussion right off the bat. Yet not a VTuber. Yeah. Kitsunero put it really well. You know, non-VTuber wins the best VTuber category. Yeah, exactly. So she pointed this out. And then this guy is also, there are receipts of this dude also saying he is not a VTuber and that he hates VTubers and VTuber culture. And that he literally, that he just did this to piss off VTubers. Like, okay, like we're gonna click some Kitsu's receipts here. So let's click this one first.
Every time I play with that guy, first thing he says, he goes, "Make sure you guys go vote Peanut for VTuber of the year."
Yeah.
And then I riff him up with something. I don't know what I say, but everybody knows I don't like being called a VTuber just because it's not the same thing.
Doesn't it just mean virtual tuber?
Yo, I don't think so. Every time I play with that.
So there's like your first thing. He doesn't consider himself a VTuber by his own words. Like, he doesn't want to be associated with them. He doesn't want to be associated with VTubers. But now let's check this clip as well. This is let's check this out.
Deserve it. I really do feel like you deserve it.
All right. Okay. All right. Tell you what, you deserve, buddy.
Let's run back to 6v6.
Actually, genuine question though. Do you think if you won, this question for everybody, do you think if you were to win an achievement like that VTubers would be pissed?
Wait a second.
VTubers
Hold up, wait a minute. Shroud could be onto something.
This could actually be a good thing. If you win, you could, you don't like VTubers, you're a P-tuber and all.
The master
so if you
plan.
win the VTuber award,
Big rage bait.
yeah, think about that. Think about the damage you could do to the VTuber community if you won as a P-tuber.
That is an excellent point, Shroud. Excellent point. Wow. I never thought about it that way. Honestly,
Vote for Peanut.
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, vote for
Vote for me, gentlemen. Let's get him.
So he's not a VTuber by his own admission. He's not a VTuber by definition. And he's only doing this strictly to cause drama, to be a drama monger, to be a drama whore, you know? So that's where we are with this guy. I think, what's this other, okay, that's the same clip I saw. That's the same clip from earlier. So that's where, so that's where we are with this. It's so bad I heard people saying he's a VTuber because the first VTuber wasn't AI, it was Kazuna AI. Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, you know what that reminds me of a little bit, Delta Ghost? That reminds me of the OnlyFans prostitutes who got mad when what's her name? She was in V Shoujo. Project Melody got popular, and like they were mad at her because like she's an artificial intelligence. We're human. We can't compete with that. It's like, no, she fucking isn't. You vapid cam whore. She's a person behind a digital avatar. Yeah, Project Melody. Thanks. It's like no. It's like she's not an artificial intelligence, and neither is Kazuna AI. She is a character played by a person. Like, they're not. Listen, the normies are not sending their best. All right, the normies are not sending their best. But all right, so first of all, so yeah, no. By all metrics, this guy should not have been nominated and should not have won, for the simple fact he's not a VTuber, doesn't want to be associated with VTubers, and then on top of that, was deliberately doing it to troll. Like that was it. Like that was it. He is doesn't fit the category, doesn't want to be in the category, and was just doing it for like toxic reasons. So he should not have won for those reasons. And another reason is that, and this is apparently, people are trying to defend this by saying, oh, it's just a bit. Like he's just doing a bit. If this guy was doing a bit, then the moment he won, he would abdicate and give it to somebody else. He would give it to Iron Mouse, he would give it to Maury Calliope, he would give it to somebody who was nominated, or say, redo the vote. So yeah, if he had any character, if he had any, principles, he would have given up the title immediately. If this was like, an accidental thing and not him trying just to troll. So yeah, so his character, his lack of character, his lack of principles are immediately on display. And you hope Neurosama wins whatever next streamer wants to happen, just to rub some more dirt in these people's eyes. Yeah, nah, listen, Neurosama as an AI program is a more legitimate VTuber than Burnt Peanut. That's objective. That's objective. That's not open for debate. But right, so but the first thing we got to comment on is I think this is very clearly an industry plant scenario. Like, I'm firmly in the belief that this Burnt Peanut guy is like, he's an industry plant. Like, let's see. Like, okay, look, like these are his popularity metrics, okay? Like these are his popularity metrics. He basically was like, kind of just, literally who? Up until, right up until like, the beginning of November, roughly. Like early mid-November. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, pops off. Like, pops off to the extreme. Like, let's look at this guy. Let's look at this one. Like here's this, his monthly subscriber gain just skyrockets overnight for no reason. And I'm just gonna say this, like, call this tinfoil hat, but okay. Something y'all need to understand about the streaming industry. You don't pop off like this without backup. You don't pop off like this without the industry on your side. That's a fact. Nobody pops off as a streamer on Twitch unless they have Twitch directly helping them. That is how the system works. That's not opinion. That's a known fact. Like, every streamer you've ever seen who suddenly popped off either knows a guy or was helped by somebody who operates like within the industry. That's a simple fact. And I think what really, like, let's see, what is this? Oh, right, yeah. We'll get to, we'll also check it on this. Like, this is, this came out today, right? Like, no, this came out yesterday. This is the most watch VTubers, according to the people who work for the streaming industry, who track all this information, are now counting Burnt Peanut as the number one VTuber after literally not existing on the charts before this. And by the way, I want to point this out too. So, and this is, okay, I was kind of maybe on Burnt Peanut's side with like the whole saying he's not a VTuber thing, right? I was kind of maybe on his side with all that. And then I saw this, I saw this thing being tracked with him as the number one VTuber. This guy here posts and says, someone should community note this since Peanut said he's not a VTuber, doesn't want to be associated with VTubers. And Stream Charts replies with, We spoke to him about it. He's okay being included as a VTuber in the tops. Hope it helps. There you have it. So, yeah, so, and I'm going to point out, I checked out a couple of this guy's streams, you know. Marshall make fun of Atari for getting domed by orcs. No, man. Listen, that's Atari's problem, okay? That's a him problem. That's a him problem to deal with. Also, hello, monkey. Yeah. So, right, and let's see. You know, Shizu here making a good point. This chart is an insult. You added someone who spent a year saying he wasn't a VTuber, was trashing on VTubers, then flipped at the last second for internet brownie points. Good job undermining all the actual hardworking VTubers in that category. And of course you can see all, because, okay, Burnt Peanut's fan base, I don't even think a lot of them are fans of him either. I think they're just people who hate VTubers or, you know, bots run by the industry, like pushing VTuber hate. Like I showed off, you know, Kitsunero's post, and then this guy, this guy, Big Goose, who I'm guessing is some kind of streamer, you know, basically attacked Kitsunero and VTubers, being all like, because Kitsu had a pinned comment of like, a meme she made of her singing the the Alex Jones turned the freaking frogs gay video. And this guy, quote tweets it saying, it's like the meme from 6 years ago, but you put your VTuber on it, comedy genius. 99% of VTubers are only capable of regurgitating the same jokes we heard for the last decade. It will always confuse me how these clowns took over half the industry, but the answer is that half of the human population is entertained by a cat girl jiggling keys and or tits. Sorry if I saw this Polygon's tweet in a group chat bitching about an actual original VTuber winning VTuber of the year and I had to come back and talk shit. Y'all enjoy your day unless you're a VTuber, then hate your day, which I'm sure you already are, because Peanut won and you a bitch. Like, and I'm gonna be honest, this Big Goose guy just epitomizes the entire streamer establishment. Like a toxic man baby who can't stand that VTubers can operate equal to or higher than him. He sounds angry. He is angry. He's a little baby back bitch as far as I'm concerned. Actual piece of shit. He's an actual piece of shit, bitch baby who is just, he's just apparently eternally mad that, VTubers are more creative and more successful than him. So obviously he has to take it incredibly personally because he's a man baby with no spine. I mean, what else more is there to say on that? It's kind of funny whenever someone touts game. Okay, Tora. We'll get into that. We'll get into that later. We'll staying on topic for now. But yeah, no, like that's what this guy is. That's what this Big Goose guy is. And then let's see. Here's some more of Big Goose botting likes. Oh yeah, no. Okay, you see these 19,000 likes? He bought that. He bought those likes. He absolutely paid some Chinese or Indian like botting service for that shit. And you know what? If he wants to say he didn't, he can prove it. And that's how simple that is. But we checked that out. Right. And like here's some of Big Goose and Big Goose's fans. I guess he has fans and Burnt Peanuts shills saying this shit in reply to Kitsu, kill all VTubers. I'm back being glad the Peanut. I guess he was having a stroke when he wrote that. Yeah, I'm not gonna quote that out loud. Do this, but with VTubers instead. Or murder VTubers with circular saws and such. Hey, listen, the fans of non-VTuber streamers, everyone. Like right there for y'all to see. All right. And then we had this person, this Code Miko, I guess, being all like, stop gatekeeping VTubing. VTubing is about expressing yourself digitally in however you please. And then congratulates, the guy. And look, I'm just gonna put this out there. I took this screen cap of her while she was streaming. Where's the VTuber? She claims to be a VTuber. Where's the VTubing? In fact, I decided to go one more than that. I went to her her archive videos on Twitch. And of all of her streams, let's see. Only looks like, okay, the one at the upper left is the most recent, the one I originally screen capped. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them, no, 13 of them don't use an avatar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of these streams do not have her using her avatar. So no, she's not a VTuber. She's a normal streamer who happens to work on motion tracking technology, and she's not a VTuber. So yeah, no, she doesn't get to comment on this. So yeah, it's like what we have now is basically now all the tourists are piping up. This is the classic, this is the classic tourist move into a community moment. That's what we're seeing with all this. And I'm gonna point something out. I don't think like the streamer awards really matter, but I absolutely think this was coordinated by the streaming establishment to go after VTubers. I fully believe that. Burnt Peanut's an industry plant. This was all set up to like start. It started a conversation, guys, about like trying to water down, fucking VTubing as a concept by putting a normie ass streamer in the VTuber category under the most non-definition of VTuber, means possible. The fact that some people are calling deaths to streamers who use digital drawings is disgusting. Oh yeah, no, it's like, oh yeah, no, the fans of regular streamers and, I hesitate to say Burnt Peanut has fans, but just people who for a long time been looking for a reason to attack VTubers are jumping on this because, now they have a guy to rally behind, basically. They have a leader to put on their opinion, a face to apply that they really couldn't before. And that's really what this is. It's just, it is absolutely a 100% coordinated, motivated, industry-backed, move on VTubing as a concept. That's what this is. We've seen it so many times in so many other circles. Like, Burnt Peanut is just the Anita Sarkeesian of VTubing. What Anita Sarkeesian was to video games. That's what this guy is. That is genuinely what this guy is. COVID really was a disaster for the internet as a whole. Yeah, no, this all started with COVID. That's where it really got, cemented super hard. Like, I'm not interested in VTubers, but there's a couple of them that I'm okay with. I mean, I hope so. You're watching me, right? That's a joke, by the way. Don't worry. But yeah, what else was there that I had lined up on this topic? Oh yeah, this. Like, okay. If you wanna like see what, the industry thinks of VTubers, let's just watch this clip. This was the reveal. This was the announcement of the streamer award, best VTuber winner. That's what we're watching right now. Let's watch this.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to present this next award. Uwu. The 5 VTubers in this category worked hard at mastering peak kawaii and ada aura farming. Here are the nominees for Best VTuber.
Who is this? I don't know who the fuck it is. I mean, she could lose a few, but I mean, other than that, like, I don't know who the fuck it is, honestly. PNG tuber is a VTuber. A PNG tuber is a type of VTuber, yes. Whatever your opinion is, they try it just about every month with VTubers like Gargura, Sameko Saba, because it's the same issue as the anime tourism. I mean, yeah, I mean, Jared, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, but still, like, still, okay, let's rewatch this clip. What? Hi, Warmaster, how you doing? VTubing is just a more elaborate form of doing YouTube videos where you just show a profile pic instead of your face. I mean, yeah, but the issue is there is absolutely a hard definition on what kind of avatar counts as a VTuber or not. A Snapchat filter does not count. But if she loses a few more IQ points, then won't she be able to breathe anymore? Okay. Well, I mean, in this woman's case, I was talking about weight, but you know, I don't listen. Okay, let's rewatch this.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to present this next award. Uwu. The
You can just hear the disdain and dismissiveness in her voice.
5 VTubers in this category.
She says, like, the way she laughs when she says VTuber, like it's a joke to her.
In this category, worked 5 VTubers in this category.
Like, she has to restrain laughter when saying VTuber.
Worked hard at mastering peak kawaii and ada aura farming. Here are the nominees for Best VTuber.
Like, you can, like I said, the dismissiveness, the fakeness is so apparent. She does not want to be up there announcing this because she actively hates the people under the category. 100% just saying that because they don't get people hating on him. Well, the thing is, Warmaster, a lot of it is based around the fact that the Western entertainment industry hates Japanese culture, and VTubing is related to Japanese culture. It's like, it's inseparable from it. That's really what it boils down to. She looks pretty average size to me. Horrible attitude, though. She already got the badge. She's got the I wish I wasn't here right now badge. Yeah, deal. But okay, let's see what Elfpire Ava. Let's see what they had to say about it. I've said it a couple of times, but here's my official stance on what went down. It's clear to me from how they presented nominations all the way down to who won what this was. This was a message from the Streamer Awards saying we're not welcome, VTubers in general, I mean. And yeah, that's it. That's the long and short of it. That's what this was. It's saying, it is the Streamer Awards saying you are not welcome in streaming. You're not welcome in your own space. Like, that's what this was. Hey Grind, how's how you doing? What's the subject right now? The subject right now, we'll move on to like Warhammer and Space King in a minute. The subject right now, though, is basically the streamer awards, big industry award, basically just trying to, undermine VTubing because they hate it. They're just racist towards Japanese people. Oh, listen. Okay, I can't show any examples because it's some of the most disgustingly racist stuff you can imagine. But all you need to know is like some of the opinions that these types of people have on Japanese culture and Japanese people. Like, it's genuinely funny and also disgusting watching them flip on a dime from talking about how racism is wrong and bigotry is wrong and all this stuff And then you get to Japanese culture and Japanese people, and they will flip on a dime to say the most awful shit imaginable. And let's see. We're gonna be getting into. We're gonna be covering Iron Mouse now, as well, because she's had her say on the matter, and okay, so don't I mean tit streams? Oh no, they're awful too. Like, okay, if everyone wanted proof that, you know, Twitch uses a 2-tier rule system, just look at the fact that, you know, a VTuber, in terms of their design, cannot get away with things that an unironic, you know, porn streamer on Twitch can get away with. Like, you know, like a VTuber can get like a permanent ban for having too much, you know, too much hips showing, or, you know, aggressive navel or whatever. Meanwhile, a regular streamer gets like there was a regular streamer who got like a 5-day ban of something for literally getting plowed, you know, dick down by a guy live on stream. So yeah, it is absolutely hey Biggie, how you doing? So yeah, it is absolutely a 2-tier rule system on Twitch. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually get banned just for pointing this out. Twitch does not like it when you talk about this. Like, I wouldn't surprise if I get banned on Twitch for talking about this. Twitch is often very one-sided with the porn thoughts. Yeah, they really are. And it really is half because, you know, it really is half because, you know, Twitch is dismissive of anything Japanese culture. And also half because, you know, Tom Clancy, not Tom Clancy, fucking... The Clancy is his last name. I forget his first name. It likes to, you know, give money and jerk off to the porn streamers on Twitch, so it's also that, you know? Twitch and YouTube can eat a bag of dicks. I mean, listen, Dan Clancy, I knew it was something Clancy. Like, listen, YouTube ain't perfect. It's a site better than Twitch. I'll say that. Hey, I will say this right now. If you stream on Twitch exclusively, look into multi-streaming on YouTube. Like, seriously. Prepare to abandon Twitch. It's not going well for them right now. Twitch is run by a pervert. Yeah, no, Dan Clancy's absolutely a pervert. He's absolutely a pervert. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some Epstein-coded skeletons in his closet, if I'm being completely honest. That man is hiding some shit. But yeah, okay, so here's let's see. Gaben should start a streaming site. Look, I'm gonna be honest, if Gabe Newell started a streaming site, he'd kill Twitch overnight. Like, if Valve started a streaming site, Twitch would die overnight. It would be gone. Probably all the VTubers would leave or multi-stream to it. And if they just outright left, that would just be the end of Twitch. Like, that, it would be over for Twitch. You have no idea how much the VTuber boom in 2020 has kept Twitch afloat, which is why it's so hilarious why that Twitch hates VTubers and comes down on VTubers so much. He must be a freak with all the recent shit put on the front page. I mean, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that stuff because that stuff is actually disgusting, and I don't want to bring attention to it. If you're doing the deadpan reference joke, there needs to be another person involved. That's why the host failed No, that's not why they failed the intro. That's not why they failed the intro. They failed the intro because, like I said, they just have genuine contempt for VTubers. It's really that. There's no... This isn't like some secret. This is like a well-known thing in, like, you know, in the establishment of non-VTuber streamers on Twitch. Like, that's a known fact. Also, that was rude of me. Gun Wallastella. Welcome, you know, first time chatter. I'm sorry about that. I was laser focused on the topic. Didn't say hi. Gaiman might actually be the most acceptable billionaire. I will, you know what, probably controversial of me to say, I'll throw Elon Musk in there. Musk is doing things for space travel that no one else is right now. And that's incredibly important for the future of mankind. Like, I don't give a fuck if you think Elon Musk is cringe. I don't care how cringe he is. I care what he's doing to further space travel. And that's what should be focused on. So yeah, that's that. Now, moving on to, continue the topic at hand. Here's some, Iron Mouse, the stars belong to humanity. Yes, War Master, they belong to us. The stars just don't know it yet. So, okay. So, and I think this is really funny because, Iron Mouse piped up on this topic. And, okay, well, here's what she had to say.
I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't understand. And people are like, he's not a VTuber. He literally is a VTuber. That literally is the definition of a VTuber, bro. Like, he literally is one. I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay. For starters, I'm just going to say this. He's not a VTuber. He doesn't fit the definition of a VTuber, Iron Mouse. So, yeah, you're wrong. Like, you can have your opinion, but you are wrong. But second of all, it's funny now because her word is now being touted about as like the final word because, oh, she's a big time VTuber. So obviously her opinion matters more than most. It's like, no, that's appeal to authority fallacy. That's not how that works. Like, yeah. Just because, okay. First of all, I'm going to point out, Iron Mouse is pretty obviously to rare Iron Mouse L. Well, okay. I'm going to say fairly common Iron Mouse L, just because, I'm going to say that's fairly common Iron Mouse L, just because, like, listen, she's in bed with people like, Hassan Piker. She's friends with Hassan Piker. That should tell you all you need to know about Iron Mouse in this, right? Iron Mouse has been desperate to be recognized as a mainstream non-VTuber streamer for a long time now. She hangs out with all the non-VTuber streamers. Like, she basically, clawing at them, clawing at the table for some scraps of attention. She's had Hassan Piker, collabing with her before. She wants that attention. And I find this funny because, so this was another thing that happened. This is another one of those, I don't know who this guy is. Jinxie, I guess I'm pronouncing that. Literally cringing, literally physically cringing while watching Iron Mouse perform and then shutting the stream off. I'm gonna mute this just because copyright music, But yeah, this was Iron Mouse's, performance at the Streamer Awards. And then he shut the stream down. So yeah, Iron Mouse. I know you'll probably never hear this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. These are the people you're cozying up with. They hate you. Okay? They'll never take you seriously. They don't like you. They hate you. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they say some of those vile shit imaginable about you behind your back. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna move over to this. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So this guy, Proctor Zakharov had the following to say to Iron Mouse on her, her piping up over the burnt peanut thing. I'll dare say it. If Iron Mouse wasn't seriously ill, she'd be an average flesh tuber and hate VTubers. The only reason she is one is because that's what her life circumstances forced her to be. How else should I interpret her choosing to split on the medium whenever possible? And I'd like to point out, Sea Dog, VA, Connor, who's a friend of Iron Mouse, who is also, buddy with Hassan Piker, came into simp for her. And Zakharov said the following: "You get to dictate my opinions when you cut ties with that cob and you tortures dogs." Which, look, I'm gonna say based as fuck retort toward that tourist Connor. Connor is a tourist, don't get me wrong. Like, just go watch your average trash taste podcast to see how much of a tourist Connor is. 100% a tourist, all right? Like, listen, Connor. I've not forgotten your dog shit opinions on Mobile Suit Gundam and, during that, thing where you were talking to Giguk about it. Shilling Witch from Mercury as the first good Mobile Suit Gundam because, you thought Gundam was impossible to get into when it's literally a matter of episode 1, bro. So yeah, don't think I've forgotten that. But yeah, no, Connor the tourist, he's friends with Hassan Piker. His opinion doesn't matter. So, okay, this one's, I'm gonna warn you, this is a wall of text, you know what, actually, hold on, everyone, really quick. I'm not gonna activate the AFK screen, I'll just be right back, so hold on. I'm back, sorry about that. I did not have water next to me and my mouth and throat were getting dry from yapping so much. I apologize for that. Would it be wrong if, the hostility that Twitch has for VTubers is why Hololive doesn't use the platform and Saba only uses YouTube? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Listen, you can say a lot about Hololive being a shit company, especially recently, after they went public. But they're smart not broadcasting on Twitch. They're absolutely smart. There's legitimately no reason if you are a VTuber to broadcast on Twitch unless you're already established. I would say go to YouTuber Kick. Specifically, you should multi-stream. That's what I recommend. Drop the 20 or whatever a month, 20, 25 a month, whatever it is. Get Restream, get Streamlabs, multi-stream. If you've got a computer that can handle it, use the plugin for OBS. It doesn't matter. Pick a method and do multi-streaming. I absolutely recommend that. Twitch will do everything in its power to strangle you, to prevent you from getting anywhere. You will unironically start to pop off on another platform. If, especially YouTube, where, your VODs are kept forever and you can actually upload other content. You can upload, clips and highlights of your VODs and stuff, which is something I do on my own channel other than uploading my usual, pre-recorded rant videos. And, I've been pretty small time on Twitch, right? Pretty much my whole streaming career. I don't pretend to be super popular, right? I don't pretend to be super popular or well-known, and I never have, and I never will. But unironically, when I began multi-streaming to YouTube and putting videos up on YouTube that pre-recorded, opinion videos and stuff, that's when I started seeing a lot of traction outside of Twitter. Like, that is absolutely something I recommend you do if you are if you want to be a streamer or a VTuber. Go on YouTube, use all the options available on your channel to the fullest. You know, cut and upload highlights, you know, make videos commenting on stuff. I highly recommend that. You will get viewers that way, and your channel will take off. Like I'm pushing 4,000 subscribers on YouTube now, after, like, because I used to use my YouTube channel as just a dumping ground for, like, you know, just a dumping ground for highlights. I didn't even stream there. I didn't put VODs up there or anything. Then I started multi-streaming, and I started actually uploading videos where I talk about stuff, and uploading, you know, like, highlights from streams where I have my opinion. And those started getting noticed, and that's when I started getting followers on YouTube. So yeah, yeah, don't let multi-streaming pass you by. Get into that shit. Get into that shit. Get a YouTube account going. Stream to different streaming services other than Twitch if you're already established. If you're not established, don't bother with Twitch. I will tell you that right now. Do not bother with Twitch. Imagine listening to Trash Taste, kind of self-telling. Okay, I have literally only ever listened to Trash Taste to learn how garbage their opinion is. I basically discount Trash Taste's opinion on everything. They're a trio of tourists, and they don't really have a right to opinion about anime or Japanese culture. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. All right, I was just making sure something about my stream music. Hey, Kingdom of Vinland, how you doing? Would it be wrong to say Connor is only popular because of Mouse? Yeah, you know what? That one, you know, I'll throw that in there. Sea-Dog, I would say that Sea-Dog VA probably, you know, when Iron Mouse was popping off, coasted to success on the back of her. I'll say that. I'll you know, whether it's a L take, W take, I don't care. I'll take it either way. Listen, it may be my genuine dog shit opinion, but I'll say it with my whole fucking chest, all right? But right, look, but anyway. Back to Proctor Zakharov. Let's read off his whole wall of text here, elaborating on his point. What, Trash Taste sucks because Gilguk and Joey keep caving to Connor's normie opinions. Gilguk was always so-so, but Joey was one of the better anime VTubers back in the day. I mean, yeah, but listen, never discount somebody's opinion to throw everything they enjoy under the bus for popularity. I'd rather be small time, like, you know, Joe Nobody VTuber, like I am right now, than be someone who's, you know, big and has to throw everything I am under the bus to prop it up. Like, that's my opinion right there. If I'm gonna get anywhere, if I'm gonna get anywhere as a streamer, it's gonna be off the back of, you know, voicing my unfiltered dog shit opinion regardless of who I piss off with it. And, you know, fuck everyone else. I'd rather be unpopular and you know, real than popular and fake. Like that's where I stand. But right, so let's read this up. This took off a lot more than I thought it would. Naturally, a lot of people disagreed with me as exactly as I expected. People decided to performatively attack me for daring to say the obvious truth. No one single reply has been counterfactual, just insults. You'll see that a lot with people like this. They'll get mad at you. They'll call you every name under the book. They'll criticize your reach as a content creator. They'll ridicule you in every way you can imagine. They will never say you're wrong. And honestly, in my own piping up about this whole thing, you know, or about the whole thing with the burnt peanut thing, that has genuinely been the trend. They're telling me I'm cringe. They're telling me I'm not big time. They're telling me I'm not popular. They're not telling me I'm wrong. Oh, hold on, we got an ad going on we got an ad going on the Twitch end of things. Hold on. That'll end in 13 seconds, and then we'll continue reading this. Okay, ad over on Twitch. Let's see. The only good anime YouTubers are small. Once you get big enough, it's more profitable to sell out to normies. Yeah. I'd rather get struck by lightning and turn to dust right now than sell out to normies. Normies ruin everything they touch. They can't prove you wrong, so they resort to name-calling, death threats, and doxing, and yeah, I saw the ad. I stopped talking for the duration of it. That's why I only have 30-second ads, because I don't want to give Twitch ad money. Because I get nothing for it anyway. And, they just interrupt the experience. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, and I pissed off the LA TwitchCon clique. Oh no, now I won't get invited to any of their orgies. Truly, this is the worst of days. Anyway. I'm going to expand on my comment about how Iron Mouse chooses to spit on the medium whenever possible. I'll start with an anecdote here, aka my experience at her panel at Vexpo 2024. When I first went to Vexpo, I went in blindly, barely knowing the program. I saw Iron Mouse at a panel, so I went to it. What I didn't realize was it was a panel with somebody called Domo Arigathanks, who I'd never heard of before. What followed was a deeply uncomfortable hour or so of excruciatingly dull banter between Iron Mouse and a personality vacuum of a man who certainly didn't want to be there and, equally clearly, viewed her as a bizarre object on screen, just there to make sounds for his entertainment. The thing that struck me most about his excuse for a panel was how Iron Mouse wasn't even talking about VTubers for most of it. She was shilling her streamer to VTuber Academy thing, talking about how great it would be for more people like Domo to become VTubers. Domo was clearly barely listening to any of this. This panel experience encapsulates in microcosm exactly how Iron Mouse treats the VTubing medium as a whole. It is painfully and blatantly obvious that she desperately wants to be part of the LA celebrity streamer culture, if there's a better word for it, I'm unaware, and is willing to bow, beg, prostrate, humiliate, and disgrace herself in order to be accepted by them. If you go and look at the replies to the Streamer Awards debacle, you'll find many examples of people mocking and insulting Iron Mouse, as well as other VTubers. You'll find Iron Mouse replying to many of them as if they are positive comments. Biggest example I found was Akino posting a random clip of the text, "Jinxie was cringing so hard during Iron Mouse's painful Streamer Awards performance that he fake crashed his stream just so he didn't have to watch." Iron Mouse's reply, a trio of laughing emojis. I consider her reactions to these events to be a mask-off moment for her attitude towards VTubing. Again and again, she allows the celebrity streamer crowd to bully, insult, and degrade her, and acts as if this is a positive thing. She grovels in front of these people and responds by either thanking them or acting as if she's laughing along with them, rather than being the object of their laughter. A lot of people seem to think that this is a good thing, a turn the other cheek or be the better person situation. I totally disagree. VTubing has a unique self-isolating culture from celebrity Twitch culture. They are opposites and should never mingle or mix. One glance at the replies to any tweet about the burnt peanut will illustrate this. For every VTuber lamely pretending to be happy about this award, there's an average 50 to 100 tweets from fans of the burnt peanut and regular Twitch viewers going variations of the following. "Oh my god, I'm glad the burnt peanut won and cucked those simps. Lol, the ugly neckbeards with voice changers lost. VTubers are all pedophiles anyway. Anyone who likes anime touches children. Such a cringe category. I hope they don't run it next year." Etc., etc., etc. VTubers, I don't know how you were lobotomized into thinking these people were your allies. They hate you, and you should leave the platform immediately. Here's a quick list of bullet points if you remember. Here's a quick I can talk. Here's a quick list of bullet points for you to remember if you find this hard to grasp. 1. If your avatar is female, they think you're a man using a voice changer. 2. If your avatar is more feminine than a plank of wood, they think you're secretly a pedophile, so is your whole audience. 3. If you are more popular than whatever flesh tuber they follow, they will try and destroy or dox you. This is an overwhelming consensus among regular Twitch viewers. These are people who watch Hassan Piker and Kai Cenat. They are not intelligent, insightful people who are open to taking on your culture and accepting it for what it is. They openly want to destroy and erase it. These are the kind of people Iron Mouse will do anything to appeal to. When given a choice between begging them for attention and defending her own fans who they are harassing and denigrating, she laughs along with the harassers. Remember that. That is why I say she spits on the medium, and why I say if circumstances were different, she would probably not be a VTuber at all. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim to know her or her struggles. I bet that, like for most people, she has good aspects and bad aspects. I don't hate her, I just hate her attitude and actions, however sincere and well-intentioned they might be, as destructive to the medium and culture of VTubing as a whole, and directly contributing to its enshittification. This man is absolutely right. Everything he said is objectively correct. Nothing he said is wrong. Okay, you know the old saying, you're catching flack because you're over the target? This man just dropped a laser-guided nuclear weapon. Like right dead center on the issue. Iron Mouse is absolutely desperate to get in with normie VTuber culture. Not normie VTuber culture, normie Hollywood streamer culture. Like the streamers living in their, their big LA mansions and shit. She wants that. So of course she's gonna throw VTubing under the bus for her. I genuinely think Proctor Zakharov is correct on this. He hit the nail on the head. Oh, and okay, here's one more I wanted to read off. Can VTubers and VTuber fans stop bending the knee and grow some backbone? Accepting Peanuts' win is not growing from criticism. It's you on your knees, begging for rain from people who'd rather piss on you and think you're all a bunch of degenerate losers gooning and selling virtual tits. Maybe for some of you that's true, but VTubing was always way more than that to me. I don't know, I've never seen this red new guy before, but you know what? He's spitting facts here. Also, shout out to him not being a VTuber, but also, him being on point, being on point with the whole argument about, this whole thing. Like, quit throwing yourselves and your audiences under the bus for these people. They don't care about you. Oh, and then Mizumatari wanted to read off what he had to say. This is what I mean when I say she brings bad actors to the table. It's extremely clearly not a bit. It's never said with a hint of irony or sarcasm or a punchline, but she insists we just don't get the joke. And what's worse is, even if it were a bit, his friends hate VTubers, his community hates VTubers, the people who give him the award hate VTubers. At what point does it even matter if it's a bit or not, when everyone around him is serious, takes it seriously and acts on it? Well, like I said, what more do you have to say? Like, what more do you have to say now? Like, and yeah, like, and all of this is why I genuinely believe that this whole thing was deliberate by the industry. Finding a guy that can prop up as a VTuber falsely, because he's not one. Bought him into fake popularity, put him up for an award they knew they had coming, give him the award, and then allow this to be a launching point for an attack on the concept of VTubers. That's what I think is going on here. I'm honestly, I've seen mainstream LA culture do this to enough things enough times that I know that's exactly what's going. If you were a big VTuber, PR speak is the only acceptable option if they comment on Peanut. Only small indies can call him out. I mean, like, yeah, that's another thing I'll comment about the Iron Mouse thing. She is 100% in desperate PR mode all the time, like all the time. I would not be surprised if she genuinely hates what she has to do to some degree to maintain her popularity on Twitch. But honestly, I like, she absolutely fakes it to stay popular, I think. Like, she absolutely makes shit up, like, on what her opinions on things are to try to maintain her circle of friends. I think her past of having, autoimmune disorder, which has largely shut her out of most of what she wanted to do in life, might be a factor. Like, I think she is in a position that she otherwise would not have been in life if we hadn't just taken up VTubing at random. But, at the same time, I think like the thought that everyone she cares about might abandon her if she doesn't toe the party line is absolutely something driving her. She doesn't want to lose people. Like, I think she's painfully aware that a lot of the people who call themselves her friends are not her friends and are just using her. And they're expecting her to, oh, hey, we got one moment. We got a bot was just nuked. Hold on, let me nuke that in YouTube. There we go. Okay, but yeah, so you'll never look at Peanuts without cringing again. Yeah, Rambo, I don't blame you. 3 at, you know what? I legitimately wish YouTube warned me when ads come up, but it doesn't. But yeah, I think Iron Mouse is genuinely afraid to lose the people who claim to be her friends, who probably aren't her friends. They're just pretending to be your friends. Because, she took off, and them being the kind of like, that kind of LA celebrity culture thing, piggybacked off her taking off. And now she feels reliant on them. She feels like she'd be alone without them. And I think that genuinely colors her reactions to things like this. I think if she wasn't afraid of having people like Sea-Dog VA turn on her, she would not be backing the Burnt Peanut. She'd be going after him as not a VTuber as well. Like, that's my genuine belief of what's going on here. So yeah, so that's that topic out of the way. That is topic numero uno. I wanted to get that one out of the way because I knew it might take a while, because it's a bit of a scenario. This whole part of the stream was probably gonna go way shorter, but then more and more people start opening their mouths. Ugh. Man. Oh, my throat's driving me yapping about that. What do you think of Conflict 47 2nd edition? I'm thinking it's getting some models finally, but as someone who's enjoyed 1st edition lore, I don't like the retcons replacing the Nazis with not Hydra. Okay, we're moving into like 40K related stuff. We're gonna move on to Space King next, but I'll comment on this real quick. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're in Conflict 47. I'll fully say I'm not sure what they're calling the Nazis if they've changed their name. If they did change their name, I think that's kind of lame. They should just call them Nazis. Like, seriously. Like, they should just call them that. Like, I get that, like, if they're changing their names to not offend, like, what, you know, woke leftoids, like, that's incredibly lame. Which is funny, because, you know, leftoids, you know, are so keen to call everyone Nazi when they don't even know what the fuck a Nazi is. The idle influence structure of traditional VTuber agency shields talent from needing to stay on PR mode all the time. Iron Mouse doesn't have that luxury, unlike Hololive or Face Connect girls. They call them the Axis. Oh, okay. That is lame. That is lame. Yeah, I didn't know that. They renamed them the Axis. That is lame. That's actually really lame. But I'm, yeah, so, okay, let me hunt something down really quick. Well, let me hunt this down. What's that? Okay, gotta go kind of roundabout for this one because let's see, reload that. We're talking about the peanut drama. You would have voted for me. Well, thanks, philosopher. I mean, listen, I wouldn't vote for me. I think my content's kind of mid, but thank you all the same. Yeah, let me move this on over here. Now, is that going to show up on stream like it wanted to? Yeah, it is. So this is something I wanted to, you know. So this came up. Hold on. This we had the okay, so we're gonna dive into Space King in a little bit. We're gonna dive into Space King in a little bit, but I just want to show this is the most hilarious clip in a long time. Let's okay, let's hold on. Let's where's my stream music? There it is. Oh, nope. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. Let's silence that for a bit. Let's let this play out.
Guys, what if we're the bad guy?
That is okay. Allow me just to say, Space King is legitimately some of the best satire made in a long time. Like, okay. How do I put this? First of all, where the hell is my stream music? There it is. There we go. You think Space King's creators actually read up on the 40K drama? Yeah, I think so too. Space King is peak. It really is. It's like I said, Space King is great because it's like, it is some of the best meta commentary and satire related to something like Warhammer 40,000 ever created. Like, Space King is actual satire of Warhammer 40,000, but not in the way not in the way a lot of people on the left think it is. Like, okay, one moment. Okay, so like I don't know if you remember it was a little while back, there was that move by a bunch of Spanish communists. They were trying to say how, you know, Space King is, it was when yeah, Super Jesse, it was when the No Girls Allowed thing happened. It was a bunch of Spanish communists trying to say how, you know, Space King was making fun of Warhammer 40,000 fans and how it was a parody of Warhammer 40,000 fans, and then, you know, and then people, myself included, they posted the clip of the you know, Tom and Don making fun of people who want, you know, female custodes. Not female custodes, female space marines. And I mean, Tom and Don put out a video talking about how female custodes are pointless and don't belong, like, and you can't have, no matter how much you try to rewrite 40k lore for female custodes, how they don't fit in Warhammer 40,000. Like, yeah. Actually, hold on. Let's, you know what? Let's actually, you know what? Let's do that. One moment, everyone. One moment. Yeah, why don't, okay. Let's, okay, I think this is the channel it's on. Okay. All right, let's turn that off. Let's bring this over here. We're going to focus on the part of the video in question, all right? The female custodes bit. Turn on the subtitles. Okay, where's the... Yeah, okay, that's the Votan part. Slaanesh being hot. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video with airs from this point, you know, this point forward, because this is the main. This shows they understand what they're talking about. They don't get everything right, but they do understand what they're talking about.
Slaanesh demons on Rule 34, they probably all have dicks too.
Yeah.
So, Games Workshop, if you want to like design for a modern market, those ideas are on us.
And now, last but not least, female custodes. You knew it was coming. The Adeptus Custodes, referred to as the 10,000 or custodians, is the force responsible for protecting the Imperial Palace and the body of the Emperor. Literally his body on the throne in the Imperial Palace on Terra.
I'm the Emperor.
The Custodes is an elite force of genetically engineered warriors who are widely regarded as the deadliest warriors in the whole galaxy.
Whoa!
However, in 2024, the game's 10th edition codex for Adeptus Custodes had some interesting passages that caused some fans to raise an eyebrow. In the book's introduction, Games Workshop had specifically chosen to highlight a battlefield story concerning a female Custodes by the name of,
Calades?
Calades, that sounds like a girl.
Calades Toravalia Kesh? She was Persian too?
Fans were confused. This is the first time a
I want to point out, I love how the subtitles are struggling to keep along with that convoluted ass name they came up for.
Female custodian was ever mentioned in the lore, even though gendered language had been used in the lore for years.
Wow.
Older passages that come to mind stated, quote, Custodes begin their lives as the infant sons of the noble houses of Terra, and, quote, it is a great honor for those of Terran noble descent to submit a son, end quote. How have the custodians been around?
I'm going to comment on this piece of lore, by the way. I want to comment on it. Because the people try to say, you know, because a common argument about whether, you know, female custodians would be possible is when they're like, oh, but we don't know how custodians are created. There's nothing that says the process doesn't work on women. And to which, listen, I'm gonna rewind this bit here, okay? I'm gonna rewind this bit. I want y'all to listen very carefully to the text from the codex.
Been used in the lore for years.
Wow.
Older passages that come to mind stated, quote, Custodians begin their lives as the infant sons of the noble houses of Terra, and, quote, it is a great honor for those of Terran noble descent to submit a son.
Now, I'm gonna talk about this real quick. All the people saying we don't know how the process works, right? And using that to say oh, hey, so that we don't know how the process works, so you can just make female custodes, because clearly the process isn't described, so there's nothing saying it doesn't work on women. And here's the simple rebuttal to that. If women could become custodes, they would never have specified the recruitment of men, and only men, or sons, infant boys, into the custodes. If the process worked on women, then they would recruit daughters as well. Before they shoehorned female custodes into the lore with zero explanation. They would have recruited women from the start if the process worked on them. Because there would be no reason for them not to recruit women. If women could be custodes from the start, they never would have specified that only sons are sought out to become custodes. They do not need to describe how the creation process works at all to establish that only men can be turned into custodes because the process only works on them. The inferral that only sons are selected is exactly the proof that the process doesn't work on women. And that's how simple that is. That is world building 101. You do not need to reveal every hidden secret to reveal a limitation on a factor of the lore. To be fair, either way, the far left can't take a joke. When Dave Chappelle made a few jokes, they threatened his life. South Park made a big fun of WoW fans back then. I'm like, lol, that's funny. I remember laughing along at the South Park parody. Yeah, because the South Park parody was appreciative, It was an appreciative parody. And it was in enough on the jokes to, get the jokes right. But anyway, let's continue.
End quote. How have the custodians been around for almost 40 years without there ever being a mention of female custodies? In 2019, writer Aaron Dembski-Bowden said there was no lore reason they couldn't be female. They were...
Okay. To counter Aaron Dembski-Bowden here, he's coping super hard. He's coping super hard about this because he wanted female custodes and the guys upstairs told him to fuck off and write custodes as only men. And I want to point out, by the way, the idea that there's no establishing lore for the custodes is bullshit because Master Mankind came out about a decade after custodes were first codified and their lore was first codified by Dan Abnett and the Horus Heresy. Aaron Dembski-Bowden was a Johnny-come-lady to writing custodes in the Horus Heresy and thought that he had more authority and knowledge on what was going on than Dan fucking Abnett. So no, ADB, you do not, there was lore establishing that the custodes were only men and could only be men. So yeah, shut up. What do you think of my hypothesis that the changes from Nazi Axis might be due to laws in Germany and Europe? That one's, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Vinland, that does not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all because we all know Germans and we all know Europeans don't have freedom of speech or human rights at all. So yeah. When the Zeech made the femme custodes crack theory makes more sense based on established lore, they screwed up. Yeah, no, that's true. ADB being a scab on the ass of the hobby must be a day ending in Y. Yes, exactly, Chaos Druid, exactly.
Only written as males because there was no female models. On Twitter, when asked about why they added female custodes,
I want to point out, by the way, if custodes were designed to be able to be women in the lore, they would have made female custodes models day one. So that's more cope by ADB right there.
Games Workshop replied famously, quote, "Since the first 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodies," end quote. Even with the newer fans' openness to the idea of female custodies, many thought that pretending that it was always ambiguous was a disingenuous way of introducing new lore into the canon, especially in a modern age of shoehorning girls into everything.
You know what this was done? This was Games Workshop. They were doing one of these. Let me get my hogs out. They were going dipping their toes into the water to see what would happen if we did female Space Marines. Put an OnlyFans censor on that. Put a Patreon bar on that. People don't get that unless, I'm serious, people don't get that unless they go to the Patreon.
They also just did this with the lady heads a few weeks ago.
Oh, no, but yeah, but...
By the way, they're going to go into a topic here I did a video on, and it was so reassuring watching this. They're like, oh shit, Tom and Don are actually agreeing with me on that. I'm not crazy. Also, hello Ash, how you doing? Thank you for the raid. Welcome Raiders. And yeah, let me shout you out real quick here, Ash. There we go. Yep, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, I remember that, War Master. I remember that. And also, weren't hundreds of custodes killed in the webway? The first 10,000, even if they were females, they'd probably have died. Well, I mean, yeah, but well, okay. I'm gonna deviate off this into hold on. I gotta find something. I gotta find something that I saved specifically for this. I put that image somewhere. Is this it? Here it is. Okay. Really quick, let me just here's something for y'all to look at. This is from okay, for any of y'all who thought it might have been a mistranslation, this is from Ashes of the Imperium. Yeah, RST, however you pronounce that. Yep, there's your first female custodes in a Black Library novel. So yeah, that's a thing now. And yeah, I'm gonna point out what Tom and Don are about to say about why Games Workshop are doing this is absolutely on point.
That could just been shit sculpts. To reference what Don's talking about, a head kit came out to put different heads on your Space Marines for variety, and some people said that a bunch of them looked like women. So if you're a conspiratorial, it's Games Workshop boiling the frog and laying the groundwork and testing to see reactions. If you're not, they're just like Games Workshop sculptors being retarded and unable to do faces. Asian or female? The classic debate. What is possible to me is they're trying to diversify the line, right? But their sculptors have only sculpted white dudes for past 40 years. And anytime they have to do a different race, they just don't quite know what to do with it. And they end up with this.
I can't make my...
I want to point out, now, okay, now, you know, the note they just said, now, watch what happens. Watch what happens when they, you know, when they start actually looking at the heads.
My mind read the bottom right one. It's Asian. All it can be is like the most feminine looking square-jawed guy imaginable, or a female sculpt. So it even has like the little like mascara line.
3 dudes, 1 girl. It's official. At the very least, whoever painted that put a little mascara wingtip on it.
A little flick. They wanted to see what happens.
Dude, when I saw this initially, I was like, I think people are reaching, but you're kind of fucking red pilling me right now.
I think there was a handful more.
Oh yeah, let's look at more. Actually, this is fun. Let's look at more faces. Dude.
Yeah, okay, now that's kind of, that was kind of my thought process on the whole thing. Like I thought the heads were just badly sculpted Asian heads, and then I started like really looking at them, you know? Like really looking at them, going over the details, and that's when I was like, oh shit, no, these aren't badly sculpted Asian heads at all. These are meant to be female. Those aren't Asians. We have the white scars. Yeah, actually, that's a. Hold on, actually. Hold on. Let me look something up, guys. Hold on real quick. One moment. Evan, can we fact check this live? Let's find some bare-headed white scars to use as an example. Here's another one. And another one. And another one. Yeah, let's look at this. Let's zoom in on these. Yeah, like, okay, listen, I'm just going to say, let's back up a little bit. Yeah, this just reinforces it. This is how they do Asian sculpts, and this is how they did these new heads. Those are women. Those are hyper butch women. Like here's another Asian head that they did. You know, here's another one. And yet another. Do you see it now? You see it, right? I'm not crazy. Like, that's how their Asian heads look. These are not Asian. They're female. So you see, like, I'm not like, you know, like you're seeing what I'm seeing now when I started going all schizo about it. GW already getting greedier every year. Yeah, real. You found a 20-hour Space Marine lore video. Hell, listen, even as a 40K lore fan, that's too much for me, man. 20 hours. Maybe I'd put it on. Maybe I'd put it on playing Eve or something. I don't know. I can get pretty lost in Eve Online. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, if they made Sisters of Silence into Custodians as a way to potentially protect them from. But you see, McGinnis, that falls into the same problem. The way they set up the Custodian's creation process, it doesn't work on women. And the Sisters of Silence are cool in their own unique way. You don't need to make the Sisters of Silence into Custodians to make them cool. They look a lot more like Sisters of Battleheads without the white hair. You know, actually, I'm kind of seeing that too now, kind of. I never really thought of that when these heads first came out. But now I can't unsee it. Warhammer 40K is cooked. But Warhammer 40K will go on. Games Workshop is cooked. Modern Audience doesn't exist. Yeah, real. Bottom left head is the most Californian face ever. It looks like a Californian character designer's interpretation of what a woman looks like. You know, giant square mewing jawline with a angry lesbian face, kind of. The sculpt quality being so chopped is that's genuinely hard to tell is funny. Yeah, no, that's also true. What do I think of Clone Grim? Okay. I'm sorry, Vin. I'm trying to stay on topic, but very quick. It's a nothing burger. Clone Grim is a nothing burger that GW will never touch because they would actually have to do some creative writing to utilize it. But anyway, okay, let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video.
This initial, I was like, I think people are reaching, but you're kind of fucking red pilling me right now.
I think there was a handful more.
Oh yeah, let's look at more. Actually, this is fun. Let's look at more faces. Dude. Oh my god. Yes. Look at that guy. I saw a model kit once, or a piece of art, where like, oh, it's the new Space Wolves. Please go find the new Space Wolf heads. Everyone has to see this. It's so good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, you're about to see more, another Asian head. Another Asian head.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Why are you excited, Don? What do you think it's gonna be?
Because I want to see an Asian.
Zoom in! Zoom in on his face!
His Viking beard, obviously.
Like, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on with this guy. I mean, like, look at this. Look at that. Like, like that's the smoking gun right there. Like that's GW designing an Asian face. Those supposedly female Space Marine heads, those are absolutely female Space Marine heads. I'm fully convinced now. Making female Space Marines is discrediting the Sisters of Battle. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a slap in the face to sisters and their fans. Aren't Space Wolves supposed to be Nordic? Okay, Biggie, for a long time in the lore, Fenris is the core culture of Fenris is Nordic, but Fenris itself, since at least like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere in that ballpark, is not a mono-ethnic world. Like when they really started going into the lore of Fenris and writing the original Space Wolves novels, Fenris is not a mono-ethnic world. It's not. So an Asian Space Wolf or a Black Space Wolf actually makes sense. You can tell a story is suffering from terminal stagnancy when the writers/developers are spending more time retconning shit in than they are developing shit into an actual story. Warhammer has a similar problem to Star Ocean. Yes, absolutely. Sharky and you are making fun of this one. Hey, tell Sharky I said hi, to keep up the good work. He's got his second White Shark Quarterly out. Tell him I said grats on that and he's doing good. Keep up the good work. Sticking it to Games Workshop and their cuckoldry. China? I mean, listen, the Space Wolf, he came from China. We got a tariff. We got to do the tariffs. We got to tariff Fenris and their Fenrisian space. There are Fenrisian Chinese people. They're getting Chinese people in the wolves. There's no wolves on Fenris, just Chinese people. I'm sorry, I had to. Sisters of Battle too sexualized and Catholic. It's bad, okay? Man, I remember that was the reason Tom Kirby wanted to, the original CEO of Games Workshop wanted to get rid of Sisters of Battle. I remember that shit. Think Games Workshop has made too much overpowered Space Marines, for example, like Asterion Moloch. Well, I mean, the problem is with that, they barely touch Asterion Moloch. Like, they only had him basically as kind of a cameo in one of the Watches of the Throne books recently, and basically touched him outside of the old Imperial Armor books. But yeah, okay, let's continue on with this.
Look at that, dude! He's got a fucking, Fu Manchu. What was the brief? Make this the most racist thing you've ever thought.
That's always how it goes. It's like,
dude, we need to add some diversity. We need to make people feel welcomed.
Listen, we're just whitewashing him to give him a regular beard.
Look at this.
They can't grow those. They can't grow regular beards. They can't grow regular mustaches.
Can you imagine him praying to the All-Father?
Yeah, fight on, Wolfkin.
Ah, that's right. Sven Wolfgard, Sven Loganson, the Space Wolf. Oh, I love it, dude. That's my favorite new model of all time.
Whenever they're faced with these dilemmas, they always pick wrong. They had an artist do portraits of all the Space Marine chapters, like the key ones.
Yeah, and
the White Scars one is so funny.
I feel.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. This was the White Scars supplement cover art from, I think that was 8th edition. I think it was 8th. It might have been 9th. No. Fuck, I think it was 8th edition. Look at that. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. It's like this guy's got this. This is the most stereotypical Asian looking dude. Like looking at something like with the most frustrated, constipated looking face. Like, not to this shit again. Like look at this motherfucker. Like, oh my god. But yeah, you see the point they're illustrating. Like, no, these heads are not Asian. They are female.
Like, that's if they decided to make a black Space Wolf Terminator and gave him a fucking, like, disc in his lip. That's what I think that looks like.
Oh my god.
He just needs the fucking straw hat, dude. That's all he needs, and we're fucking, like, selling 1 trillion models. Some of these are really fucking sick, by the way. As a concept, I hate Space Wolves. I think they're so stupid. They're like, that whole fucking, like, we're Viking.
Like, I agree with them on the whole, wolf and the wolf shit the Space Wolves do is really fucking lame. I agree with that. But that said, the new Wolfguard Terminator models are fucking sick. They're really good with those.
We like wolves, so we got wolf chariots and like fucking...
We drink ale.
We drink ale and pray to the All-Father. It's like, ugh. But like, some of these models are sick. Like the beards, like that guy with the 2 like ginger fucking plaits, sick.
Can we go back to the female Space Marine faces?
Oh yeah, we're still prosecuting that.
So let's just go one by one if you zoom in.
Okay, wait. So we're gonna pick every one. Go from the left. Okay, male. Number 2, borderline.
Borderline. I think people are maybe worried about that one, but could be. Yeah.
Okay. I'll stop and give my opinion. Hold on. No, that's not it. A little back, a little more. Hold on.
Everyone, go from the left. Okay, male. Number 2.
The number 2 one, I think that's meant to be female. That's meant to be female. Like, absolutely.
Borderline.
Borderline?
It's either female or like, or it's either female or they're trying to make like a gender non-binary Space Marine or some shit. I don't know.
I think people are maybe worried about that one, but could be. Yeah, could be. I'll accept it.
3rd one, male.
I'm gonna say that this. Okay, you got the two black Space Marine heads. I think this one on the left might be female.
3rd one, male.
4th one, male.
5th one, male.
Very sus. 6th
Getting
one,
a little sus.
Those lips are a little too kissable. It's making me feel things.
7th one, male.
Male.
8th one, very.
That one that you just saw. That one. Hold on. Let me bang and go. Hold on. Get it on.
Feel things.
7th one, male.
Male.
8th one.
That one I think is that one is a little sus.
Very fucking sus.
Yeah.
How do you who on earth thinks that's male?
If you just put that in a lineup,
yeah,
you would be like, that's a chick. Next one is
I think this one next to it, this black face, that is absolutely a woman. That is just that is a AAA Western game devs concept of a woman. The big like chiseled jaw, like woman but with a chiseled jaw that can like crack granite. Yeah, that's what that is.
Male. That's just the light skin look. Light skin people just do that look. So that's not sus. That's just like
the last one, male, obviously. So next, pretty fucking suspicious.
Yeah.
5th from the bottom is JD Vance. I didn't see that one. I'll have to look. I might have to look for it later.
And the next one, like, super fucking...
Virtually no room to deny it.
Because there are so many well-sculpted male faces here of different races.
And also, this has literally never happened before.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So to have, like, an array of all these heads and people identifying multiple of them and know that they've been pontificating this a lot recently, which implies...
Oh, yeah, this. They removed all... They removed all the gendered language from the main Horus Heresy rulebook. And when they reiterated like stuff like the Emperor's speech on, the creation of the Space Marines, they cut out all the references to them being men. Like straight up, they cut it all out. I agree they can make the Space Wolves more interesting by going beyond the aesthetic, by actually giving the wolves more Norse culture, like mercenaries and stuff. Well, I mean, just a sidetrack into that real quick. That's why Horus Heresy Space Wolves, I think, are actually interesting, while 40k Space Wolves are not. 40k Space Wolves are just Wolf, and the Wolf, while 30k Space Wolves are are marauding killer space Vikings. But anyway, back onto this. Yeah, no, they removed gendered language from the Space Marine creation lore in the New Horse Heresy, and they also removed all mentions of men and men from the they made gender neutral the language of the classic "They are my Space Marines and they shall know no fear" speech.
Is that they're gonna drop some lore just like Primaris, that makes this a thing. I don't think that they're gonna say, oh, there's always been female Space Marines. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's literally
the only thing holding them back is the fear of the reaction. That's it. Because you know full well that they want to do this and they have wanted to do this, which means the only thing stopping them is the fucking autistic rage screech.
The fucking chuds, dude.
It's the chuds, for sure.
So anyways.
Yeah, unironically, the best thing you want in your fandom is a bunch of chuds. Keep it, preventing your favorite franchise from catching AIDS. Unironically, you want that.
This was a more recent thing. The Custodes thing is a little older now, but we can jump back to that.
Yeah, why don't we get down to brass tacks? Why is this something that people care about, or should care about, or shouldn't?
This is the point where we should really listen to.
Care about.
Yeah, let's try to lay out our precision. What is a concise way of putting your position, Tom?
I can reiterate what I said about female Space Marines, but it doesn't apply as much to Custodes.
Because they have different lore.
Yeah, so my position was, everything that you put into assessing, especially something like 40k, is borrowing connotations from its subject matter that help build a rich, deep, and believable world. Things have connotations attached to them, and those are used to let you assume things. Simple example, if you have bright pink colors and bubbly shapes, you're automatically inferring from that it is like a girly and soft and not mature thing, right? Because of the connotations surrounding that color and those shapes. And let's say that color didn't always used to mean that. Pink, let's say, used to be for boys, but we're operating in the current cultural fabric of what we understand. So when you have a setting that is so based on militarism and monastic knights, you're using those connotations to build this world and make it believable. This whole warrior monk thing, we have historical examples of going back thousands of years that you may not even think you've looked into or thought about that much, but you would have been surrounded by it if you're in a Western nation, especially your whole life. Whether it's warrior lodges for men or anything of that ilk or other media you've seen, it takes those connotations with it. So when you then flip them and add stuff like female Space Marines on a dime, it reeks of what it is, which is people pushing the current cultural climate of the time into something that wasn't built to support it initially, and you can have different feelings on that. And second, it breaks the immersion because now the connotations of what was there before are being fucked with by adding connotations surrounding female warriors or whatever that come with it. So it's not just this thing where you can slot stuff out and slot stuff in and not have any impact on the thing as a whole and how it feels.
But Tom,
yes,
the Knights Templar didn't have guns. They weren't super soldiers that could fly through space. Why can't they be?
They're bringing up if you can accept dragons, you can accept a Nissan Altima in your setting thing right here. But by the way, I will point out, now they're absolutely right. It's not just the lore, like they said. It's the fact they've established Custodes as a monastic fraternity. So no, you can't just throw women in there. It completely throws off the vibe.
Girls.
Now, I'm gonna say it again. People used to say that about Game of Thrones, about Samuel Tarly being fat at the wall, okay? And he's like, oh, but there's dragons, so who cares? Okay, why don't we add fucking RPGs to Game of Thrones? Why don't we add fucking AK-47s to Game of Thrones? It's because there are certain things that when you add them fucking destroy suspension of disbelief. But there's dragons, why can't there be AK-47s? They're both as mythical within that time period as each other.
I got another example for you with Game of Thrones. The whole arc of Jon Snow going to the Night's Watch and being in this prisoner warrior lodge with the Night's Watch, and they're all men. And then him getting captured by the wildlings, and one of the warriors being a girl, the redhead. The reason that's special is because he comes from a world and culture where they're all men. And it's okay, here's this capable wildling chick that teaches me how to eat pussy, But that doesn't work if there's female Night's Watchmen at all. She stops being special or interesting, and that's not arbitrary. But I think honestly, like the RPG versus Dragon, it's like the most potent example you can give. Both did not exist in the time period we're riffing on, medieval Western Europe. Both are equally as impossible to have happened, but dragons fit and RPGs don't. Why? Think about it.
Think about it.
Think about it.
That's right.
So back to Custodes.
That stuff doesn't apply as much.
Hey, Mac
Because
Tech, how you
technically the
doing?
war doesn't box women out, right?
Space Marines really rely heavily on that monastic knighthood monk shit. Custodes, I don't get that vibe. The thing about female Custodes that I think bothers people, and I think justifiably, is it's more of a microcosm of this clearly has never been the case for the entirety of the hobby, and now because of the cultural moment we're in, we decide it's so fucking important that we put it in there. And then
I'll point out they are wrong in that the lore doesn't justify it, because again, like I said earlier, that's why I actually brought this video up. Because the lore says they only take sons, that is a direct inferral that they can't take women because it won't work on them. So yeah, it doesn't have to state it directly whether it works on women or not. The inferral is the confirmation. But anyway, continuing with it.
And when people say, well, that's not really been part of what I've invested decades enjoying, or the fabric of the world I love so much, which is based on like all of these archaic ways of doing things, is being changed arbitrarily for people's like political persuasion. And that fucking is like lame. It's not like creative, it's like agenda based. And you can be creative and agenda-based, but it just very much feels like a product of the now going against something that people have loved the way it is for decades and decades.
Do you think that sentiment also extends to the other way they could have done this, where they come out with a lore reason that now there's female Custodes when there weren't before, versus just trying to say it was always that way?
Saying it was always that way is way more of a fucking slap in the face and a spit in the face. Basically, it's gaslighting.
I mean, yeah, but by the way, remember, I showed you in that, screen cap earlier, that is ultimately the lore behind female Custodes. Oh, they were just always there. You were just too stupid to notice. The ashes of the Imperium, came out, and that's what happened. They were just always there, bigot.
The previous one is just straight gaslighting you. No, it's always been like that. You're like, but there's no examples in 30 years of lore. Yeah, no, they're always there. That's the female Custodes. Whereas changing the lore is like, it's fucking lame because again, it's that, this is important to us emotionally. Or maybe capitalistically, maybe they think they'll get more sales than women. That's always at play and that's fine.
It's very difficult to imagine a lore reason that would be compelling enough in the story to justify it, beyond it just nakedly being...
All of this is about suspension of disbelief, and that just breaks it, right? Because now you're like, you can feel the creator's hands massaging all over it, and that makes it harder to like put yourself in it.
And by the way, to finish this out, Sisters of Battle are fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
They really are fucking awesome, and they are literally the female analog to Space Marines, except that they're not super soldiers. But at the end of the day, who fucking cares? They have their own flavor that makes them powerful and interesting and unique from the Space Marines versus just being female Space Marines called Sisters of Battle. They are more powerful because they get this endowment of like magic powers from the Emperor himself for being ultra faithful. It's like really interesting, good lore. It's just kind of like, well, I don't like what I want what you have.
The counter argument that put forward is like, yeah, but Space Marines are the faith.
And by the way, you always see this argument. It's like, they'll say Sisters of Battle are a false equivalence because they're not as popular as Space Marines.
Of the hobby, they're everywhere, they're ubiquitous. Sisters of Battle don't get that much screen time, so like they want to participate in something that is the like forefront of the hobby.
Maybe the reason it's the forefront is because it appeals so deeply to the audience that buys all this shit. And maybe part of the appeal is how well realized and suspendable of disbelievable that lore is. And maybe when you try to make it appeal to everybody, you dilute it and make it suck for everybody. Like Marvel, and any other property you can think of. So you think you're playing this game where you're going to pull these people in and make them buy your shit because they can see themselves in it more, but it always goes the same way. It always just makes it suck and boring, and then people stop caring about it.
Roasted.
Yeah, that's the crux of the issue, isn't it? The modern audience doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. Also, one moment. Okay, we're done watching that. I'm gonna turn the where did I put my stream music? Hold on. There we go. But yeah, no, that's really what it all is. Like there's no way they could come up with a lore explanation for this. There's no way they could make it work. So they really did just drop it in there. They just dropped it in there. Oh, it's always been a thing. You were just too stupid to notice. And you can tell how fake it is. No matter how they tried to add female custodians, it would feel fake. And nobody would like it. And I'm just gonna point out a little, another little fun little fact. Hold on. Where is that Custodes? That's Custodes video they put out in 10th edition. I just want to mute that real quick before Games Workshop decides to, sue me for playing their audio. Like if y'all wanna, see this, just take a look at that. Take a look at that like to dislike ratio on the 10th edition faction focus video for Adeptus Custodes. When when people found out female Custodes exists. Nobody wants this. Yeah, nobody wants this. I'll just let that image marinate. They don't want their own thing, they want the popular thing, hence the changes. Yeah, it's like they legitimately think you can have equity of popularity. Like you can apply equity to popularity. You cannot force something to be popular, no matter how hard you try. That is not how it works. Oh my God. Okay, I've got another ad coming up here that I can't avoid. When the ad comes up in YouTube, I'll go AFK. Or when the ad comes up on Twitch, I'll go AFK. What a fucking shit show though. And what we're seeing now, like severely, is GW basically brain dead. Yeah, they're brain dead. Let's like guard the most popular faction. Well, like I said, you would have to. I guarantee you, if they put female Space Marines in 40K, Space Marine sales will drop. The people who like Space Marines won't buy Space Marines anymore, and then the people who they want to buy Space Marines won't buy Space Marines. Everyone has an equal popularity cake. Yeah, like you can't force equity into popularity. It does not work. Popularity doesn't work that way. You cannot force something to be popular. What isn't brain dead anymore? Mostly Japanese properties. But yeah, that's okay. All that said, put this back to 100%. All right, I'm gonna go AFK for this ad break on Twitch. So everyone, hold on. I will be right back.
Yes, clear. Loud and clear. On the intercom. C7? Yes, ma'am, we'll be clear, and 233 will be clear on N4, E. Edward, and 2 will both be official. 224, I was going out there. 233 will be clear on N4.
All right, I'm back. So, yeah, I mean, the other thing I wanted to talk about, though, I mean, really, you know, fuck it, there's not really a lot I have a, you know, a lot visually I need for this one. Is, thanks, Mac. The other thing I wanted to talk about, though, was Space King 4. Space King 4, actually fucking hilarious. Go watch Space King, by the way, if you haven't. The guys we were just showing, Tom and Don, are the creators of Space King. And yeah, that first bit I showed, the whole what if we're the bad guys things, it really shows to me how, you know, on point Tom and Don are with understanding the 40K fandom. Because Space King brilliantly satirizes Warhammer tourists at every turn. I'd rather go to Conflict 47 personally. I find it more interesting, and I really hope they don't dip to having it be all have it all be demons and make the same setting as Trench Crusade. I don't think Conflict 47 will go that route, honestly. There's an interesting video by General Bradley 101 VA. Oh, wait. Is that the guy who I think it is? Hold on. Oh, fuck. Right. I was going to show this. Hold on. Bug. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I got to find this. If that's the guy that I think you're talking about. One moment. Right, yeah, I found it. Hold on. Is it oh shit. Right. I gotta bring it up. Hold on. Yeah, Vinland, I'm not watching anything by General Bradley 101 VA because he's proved himself like, oh wait, no. I just confused him for this guy. Whatever. We're gonna segue into this topic now. Anyway, he has a interesting video about giving the wolves more Viking influence. Okay, yeah. Okay, since it's not this guy, I'll, probably maybe give that a watch. Hey, not Luca 21, how you doing? Praise be to Space King, death to all heretics. I'll be going to bed now, but good to see you again. Oh, and my grandmother gets a shout. She turned 93. Hey, yeah, listen. Happy birthday to not Luca 21's grandmother. Hope you reach 100 and go beyond. Keep up the good work. Yeah, hope you get some rest, dude. But yeah, like look at this guy going on about how, the Imperium is the cruelest and bloodiest regime imaginable. In response to me posting the Space King 4 clip for some reason, fucking, 40K wasn't even the topic, but whatever. So this guy posed this shit, and if you want to see how bad tourists are about all this, my response was, yeah, here it is. Here was my response. My brother in Christ, the Imperium of Man isn't even the cruelest and bloodiest regime in its own setting. I'm gonna be honest with you, the whole speech talking about how the Imperium is the cruelest and bloodiest regime imaginable has no place in 40K, and hasn't had a place in 40K. I'd say since the transition into 3rd edition, it should have been left behind in 2nd. Because, it's true. The Imperium isn't the cruelest and bloodiest regime imaginable. They're not the Dark Eldar. They're not Chaos. They're not Orcs. They're not Necrons. so many other factions hold that title now, and naturally, all right, where was... one of my mutuals, Rock Solid responded with, it's not even in the top 5 cruelest in 40k LMAO. They literally fight demons. Stop being a tourist. And then this tourist ass motherfucker, this Jackson Jackson bunch of numbers, we'll just call him, responds. Literally every book opens with that exact text, tourist. Yeah, listen, Jackson. I know you're probably watching this because you obsess with me like every other tourist does. It doesn't matter if that's the opening text to 40k if the story doesn't reflect it. And the story does not reflect it. So yeah, you are the tourist here. Learn what tourist means before flapping your useless ass gums. I'll read Rock Solid's reply. Cruelty wasn't a philosophy that the Imperium chose, but rather one that existential threats forced into it. Every day they are fighting demons, Tyranids, Orc Wogs, Necrons, Tau expansion, Chaos corruption, and internal rebellion. A soft or idealistic society simply wouldn't survive a month. Even with all its flaws, the Imperium is still the one thing holding back species-wide extinction or damnation. If the Imperium falls, chaos wins. If chaos wins, there's no more good and evil, only eternal torment. In 40k, I'd consider good and the faction that prevails that prevents the worst possible outcome. I consider good as the faction that prevents the worst possible outcome. By that standard, the Imperium objectively qualifies. The only faction whose existence consistently protects humanity, and often the entire galaxy, is it. And then, hold on. They tried coexistence, but the Xenos turned on humanity during the Old Night. All that. The Imperium actively sought out to destroy races that had nothing to do with them. Even humans of their own species was like, okay, yeah, no, that's bullshit. Here's literally, here's literally the point where it says the Imperium was betrayed by their Xenos allies. As humanity grappled with threats from within, opportunistic Xenos races gazed upon their crumbling realm with hungry eyes. Alien invaders emerged from the stars and descend upon isolated human settlements, butchering and enslaving colonists, expand their own galactic empires. In the thousands of years that were the age of strife, human attitudes towards Xenos races hardened to the point of utter hatred. No longer were they seen as potential allies or sources of trade and science. Instead, they were to be feared and reviled, and should the opportunity arise, annihilated without remorse. Let's see how Jackson copes. The Imperium slaughtered its fellow humans for working with Xenos or just not wanting to join, including untold millions of Xenos races that had never even left their own planet. Why should humans trust Xenos at that point? Why should the Imperium trust aliens at that point? They have no reason to. You can't just toss aside thousands of years of generational hatred toward people who are trying to wipe you out because, oh, I feel bad about it. That is not how that works, Jackson bunch of numbers. And that shows why you are a tourist. You will forever be a tourist. You will never be anything but a tourist. Are the Imperium the good guys? Absolutely. They're absolutely the good guys. When the only other option is annihilation or the Imperium are the good guys. Anything that justifies the survival of the human race is an objective, moral good. That is how simple it is. You like 40k because it shows actual aliens have significant differences. Star Trek and Star Wars never actually tackle such topics. That is true. Even the Xenos in 40k, even though they're largely humanoids, like orcs, Tau, Eldar, whatever, are so culturally different from humans as to be incompatible. And that is how aliens would actually be. We can never coexist with aliens. The idea of the relatable alien is a 1960s hippie fantasy, and it will never be more than that in reality. So, yeah. But yeah, more to the point, because I wanted to show that off, but when it comes to Space King is brilliant satire because it satirizes these types. Every meta joke, like every joke that's not based in every joke that's like commenting on the wider culture and the wider, community of wargaming, Warhammer, science fiction in Space King is at the expense of people like Jackson Bunch of Numbers. Tom and Don are lampooning them brilliantly. And that's why all these clips, the No Girls Allowed clip, the You're Not Canon clip, the maybe we're the bad guys and they just kill the dude for entertaining it clip. That's why people love these. They're sick of this shit.
By the word is inhuman, but I would like some Xenos to be somewhat compatible with humans. Come here, Eldar woman. Time to race mix.
You know what, Blazer? I think you and Sharky would get along. That man thirsts for Eldar cheeks like you wouldn't imagine. But yeah, it's like the 40K tourists have been absolutely dragged by Space King since episode 1. And you love to see it. You love to see how salty they get about it, how angry they get, and how they try to double down on their tourist bullshit. And they can't, because Space King lays everything bare that is wrong with their arguments about Warhammer. One moment, Vinland, I'll get to that. Okay. What do you think of Oculus Imperia? He's a favorite of mine. Oculus Imperia is, at me being my absolute nicest and most charitable, he's a tourist. He's a tourist, he's a leech, he's a piece of shit. He is perfectly okay with Games Workshop condoning the murder of people on the political right. And he should lose his YouTube account, and he should throw away his minis. That's my opinion. If he even owns minis. If he owns them, he should throw them out. If he doesn't want to throw them out, they should be thrown out for him. That's my opinion. Like, oh, hey Salt, how you doing? Actually, no, let's look this up. Let's see. I'm trying to, because here's the thing. Oculus Imperia blocked me on, I'm trying to find his account, but I blocked it so long ago that I don't even remember this fucking screen name. But he blocked me first. And the reason he did apparently was because he thought I'm a homophobe. You know, he thought the gay man is a homophobe. That's all you need to know about Oculus Imperia at the end of the day. He's one of those people who attack other gay men for not, I think he might be gay himself, I think, or something, because he does fly the rainbow flag in his profile. But he's exactly the type of gay guy who would throw other gay guys under the bus for not towing the leftist party line. So yeah, fuck him. He's a tourist. Oculus Imperia, if you're ever listening to this, you're a piece of shit. Throw away your minis. You're not a Warhammer fan. I declare you're not a Warhammer fan. Shut up. Stop making videos. Delete your YouTube channel. You're one of those people who Arch Warhammer is talking about being perfectly okay with Tom Mendelsohn celebrating the deaths of Americans on 9/11, and also celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. You said nothing about that, and by saying nothing, you condone it. You wallow in it. You're okay with it. You want people to die. You want Americans to die. You want conservatives to die. You're a piece of shit, just like every 40K YouTuber who did not call out Tom Mendelsohn. All of you are. You all suck. You are all worthless. You are all tourists. This is not my opinion. This is objective. That is what you are. You can disagree with me and you are wrong. I am right. You are wrong. You are tourists. You do not deserve to be in this hobby. You do not deserve to be in this community. You have allowed it to go to shit. You are everything wrong with Warhammer 40,000. And you need to throw your minis away, throw your books away, throw your game tables away, delete your accounts, leave. That is what I am telling you right now. And you know what? You can say whatever you want about how ineffectual my statement here is, because guess what? I laugh at you. I laugh at you motherfuckers. You are nothing to me. You are parasites. You are not human the same way I am, okay? That is what I genuinely think about you. I'm sorry, I let Angry Bohemond out for a minute. I tried not to do that on stream. But you know what? Right now, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Because we're talking about the genuine shitheels who ruined this hobby. The kind of fake fan, tourist, air quotes, influencers like Oculus Imperia, Valrak, fucking Bricky, fucking, Cerberus XT, that fucking pedophile that he is, fucking, Norn Queen Kia, who has never owned an actual Warhammer mini. I would bet money her husband has bought and painted all of those for her. These people who Games Workshop being such a stupid, insular, ignorant company, those are the ones they listen to, and none of them would raise a fucking finger to criticize the evil that Games Workshop does, the lawsuits, the hiring people who praise political violence like Tom Mendelsohn and not firing him. Suing people who just want to 3D print their own minis for not for copyright, but for unfair competition, exact words. The rape of the Warhammer 40,000 fan film scene to create Warhammer Plus, a service no one fucking uses. The rape of fan projects like the Exodite, Primaris, the Last Templar, who, they were a Russian team. They were making Primaris, the Last Templar. Games Workshop, basically, like all the people who made fan content for Warhammer Plus, forced them at legal gunpoint to make their fan animations for them. Well, we're gonna sue the pants off you if you don't stop making these fan films that you poured your blood, sweat, and tears into. But there's a compromise. You can work for us, and then we won't sue you. Like, fuck you, Games Workshop. Fuck you. And you know what else? Like, and then they took the Exodite, which was gonna be about they were gonna be Space Marine. It was supposed to be about Space Marines fighting Eldar. And they forced it to be about the Tau. And you know what the funny part is? The fact that it's one giant, the reason the Tau sucks speech, like the whole story of the Exodite, that is telling to me what the creators thought about it. And then you know what happened to the people who made the Exodite? You know what happened to them? They went on to make Project Morningstar, which is honestly awesome. I love Project Morningstar. It's some of the coolest shit in terms of grim dark sci-fi that's been made in a long time. I fucking love Project Morningstar. Good on you guys for getting back at Games Workshop by doing your own thing, all right? You guys making Project Morningstar are fucking awesome. You know what? Actually, here, let me do this real quick. Let me do this. YouTube. Project Morningstar. Okay, you know what? This is their YouTube channel. This is their YouTube channel. I'm posting it on I'm posting it for y'all to go to. I'm posting y'all for go to Project Morningstar, watch their shit. Tell them Bohemond sent you. Tell them Bohemond loves their shit. Cause I do. It's a great setting. That what they've made so far is actually good. And you know what they also have? They have minis. They have minis. Reasonably priced, really nice minis. So yeah, buy their minis. Don't buy Games Workshop slop. Buy their shit. They're great. But yeah, no, fuck Games Workshop. Fuck the YouTuber leeches that enable them with toxic positivity. And just to fuck them. Fuck Warhammer Plus. And yeah, and I was going to talk about it again. The Primaris the Last Templar, Warhammer fan film, a Russian team, got picked up by Games Workshop. They renamed it to Altar of Wrath, which I'll admit, better title. I think Altar of Wrath is a better title. Credit where it's due. You know what happened? The Ukraine conflict started, and Games Workshop threw the entire team under the bus and threw out all their work. You go right. Okay, you know what? No, I will do this right now. Hold on. Okay. Warhammer community. I will throw this right now. Where's the search option? Search option. Oh, fucking Games Workshop's fucking website's so hard to navigate. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. If Major Killer shit is Pancreas no work shit. I haven't seen enough of Pancreas no work. I can't really judge Pancreas no work. I haven't watched enough of his stuff, honestly. So I can't really judge him. But okay, look, here we go. Games Workshop wants you to pretend Altar of Wrath never existed. You can go to the Warhammer community site, type in Altar of Wrath, and here are the previews for it. Like, this was a Russian team working on this. It was a Black Templar fan film. And Games Workshop completely, utterly destroyed it. The war in Ukraine kicked off, the Ukraine conflict, kicked off. Games Workshop threw the team under the bus, disavowed them, threw out all their work, but they never deleted the previews. They never deleted the previews. Fuck them for doing that. Fuck them for giving that team, the animation team behind Altar of Wrath, the hope of being recognized by the company that makes the game they poured their heart and souls into, just to do that to them because of completely bullshit real-world politics started by fucking warmongers who have nothing to do with the team making that animation. Fuck you, Games Workshop. Oh, I'm having a moment here. I've been having a moment here. The TISM, it's hitting hard right now. I'm not gonna lie. Found their website. Okay, so what? Pancreas No Work is the true neutral of Warhammer creators. I've never really watched any of his stuff. I'm gonna have to after today. Like, real talk. Like, man, we gotta do so. Okay, Arch was absolutely right. We gotta do something about this toxic positivity in the Warhammer community. We really do. It's ridiculous now. Like, hold on, let me find his video on it. Let's find it. Nope. He's been putting out the remaster of his Vrax videos. Huh, I can't find his new video. Yeah, that's weird. I can't find his video. Oh, I know where it is. I'm looking on the wrong channel. The Archcast. Yeah, that's it. I was looking at the wrong channel. That I'm an idiot. Here it is. Here it is. It's a long video. Okay, I'm not gonna watch it because I don't want to steal views from Arch. I consider him one of the good people, you know, fighting to keep what we remember of Warhammer alive. But I will say this: the parasites destroying. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll link the video. I'll link the video on YouTube. In the video, Arch talks about what I just talked about. So yeah. I recommend going to watch his video. It is depressing. It's blackpilling, but it's also the truth. I highly recommend you watch it. I will absolutely shill it here. Go watch his video, The Parasites Destroying Warhammer. And you know what? He is absolutely right. And if 40K YouTubers that I follow get mad at me for saying that, well, skill issue. Skill issue. It's a you problem. Fix your shit. Call out Games Workshop. Quit being so toxically positive. Quit allowing Games Workshop to get away with this shit. You are the influencers. Fucking influence something. God, fuck me, man. You got banned from the Warhammer 40K lore sub for mentioning Arch like once. Hey, yo, no, listen, funny that. You know what, while we're here, let's just go to my own channel. Let's go to my own channel. Let's go down let's go down my collection of slop videos here. Where was the first female custodes or dead video I put out? Man, my big mistake for, where was still deleted? Where did I put that? Where was that video? Oh, here we go. My original video on the topic of oh man, I still used this opening back then. Jesus Christ. This was almost a year ago as well. Yeah, no, when I put this video out, I got banned from the Warhammer 40,000 Discord. I got banned from the Warhammer 40,000 Discord for putting this video out. And I'll say on the topic of female custodes being decanonized, well, obviously, I mean, okay, they're still not canon because, you know, there's no lore to justify them. It doesn't matter how much you try to force it into fucking codexes and Black Library novels. There's no fucking lore to justify it. You cannot shove this square peg into the round hole. You cannot justify them. Now that said, my mistake of thinking they weren't gonna actually go through with it was the idea that, you know, I thought Games Workshop was operating off of some kind of level of artistic integrity and, you know, not only artistic integrity, but, you know, the different parts of the company actually communicating with each other. And as a result, I thought that when they started like showing like, oh, custodes are a brotherhood and they refer to them only as men. And when they refer to them only as men in other books that came out, like the Era of Ruins short story collection for Horus Heresy, I was like, oh, they haven't brought up female custodes since the Tithes. And they've been referring to custodes as only men for several books now. That probably means they're getting rid of it. And my big mistake was like thinking Games Workshop had artistic integrity and wouldn't just suddenly drop them back in after like over a year. Because like, it's been almost a year since the Ultimate Guide now. A year with nothing, and then all of a sudden, Tirith shows up in Tacticus. They put a female Custodes in Ashes of the Imperium. A year of nothing, and now this. This company does not communicate with itself. This company, it has no artistic integrity. They don't. They're not a serious company, and you should not take them seriously. Yeah, Warhammer 40,000, The Ultimate Guide, it came out about a year ago. It came out about a year ago, like just about now. You wonder how Baradins would fare against Astartes? I don't know how transhumanly augmented they are. By the way, I'll say, MechTech, go to, we'll just say, the high seas to get a copy if you can. Don't give Games Workshop money. The problem with feminist writing is that non-feminist writing will literally have a book of Genesis to explain where everything came. Not yet. Non-feminist writing will have a book of Genesis to explain where everything came from. Feminist writing is that bear that randomly appears in the Bible and kills the kids who called a dude Baldy. You know what? That is so apt, honey. That is so unbelievable. That is such a great way of putting it. When men, and I'm talking like men who don't hate themselves, when men who don't hate themselves write, that's how they write. They will get so fucking autistically detailed about what they are creating. And then when women write, they expect you to just buy what they're putting on paper with no backing. Like, look at compare the world building of Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter. A guy who started writing all that shit down so his sons would stop correcting him on the bedtime stories he was telling them. Created entire fucking languages, thousands of years of history, and entire cultures and peoples, the heroes of those peoples. And it was entirely because his sons kept telling him he was getting details wrong when he'd tell these stories to them. J.K. Rowling couldn't world build her way out of a paper fucking bag. Neither could Stephanie Meyer or whoever. Yeah, Stephanie Meyer is another great example. Or the hand jobs tale lady. I forget who the fuck wrote that. Like, I'm just gonna be 100% with you, 100% rant mode. This is why women's novels don't take off like men's novels. You're required altogether too much to just take the author at their word rather than the author building a world that you can couch a story. Like, motherfucker, I'm coming up with a sci-fi setting right now. I just finished the preamble of the timeline, let alone the meat and potatoes of the timeline, let alone anything involving the actual story. I am in the early stages of creating this. I probably won't get to actual writing until around February, because I'll be spending the next couple months putting this shit together. Like, just trying to make a world for it, to make it like, this is a time and a place I believe could be real. That if I ever get this shit published, I want someone to think could be real. That is why stories have lore and canon and all this stuff. Women don't like lore. They don't like canon. They loathe it because it means they have to invest their minds in it. And, in a sense that they have to give, what it is that most women are selfish. They don't want to have to invest in a setting. They will only want to get things, they only want to take from the setting. They only want what they can get out of it. In order to enjoy a setting with a lot of lore, you need to you don't just get enjoyment from the setting, you engage in a counter investment of your own time, your own energy, to understand that setting and to love it. Women can't do, I shouldn't be so broad. Most women can't do that. Most women don't want to do that. Most women are entirely shallow with their approach to storytelling, what they get out of it and what they put into it when they themselves are writers. So when women try to force their way into things like Warhammer, they try to force it to become shallow. And what is Warhammer becoming? Warhammer is becoming shallow. I was literally just ranting about this on video. Warhammer went from a potential infinite number of characters to tell stories about to like 60 characters. Warhammer is 60 characters now, and everything about them. We will never get another Ibram Gaunt, another Caiaphas Cain, another Eisenhorn, another Ravenor. We will never get shit like the Badab War. We'll never get shit like the Sabbat Worlds Crusade. We'll never get that anymore now, because that time of Games Workshop is over. They have their 50 Marvel Cinematic Universe characters they can laser focus on. If they can't laser focus on them like Dawn of War, they'll stuff them in there where they don't belong. That's where the line is showing up in Dawn of War 4. 60 characters, 50 of them are Ultramarines. Yeah, fucking real. Fucking real. And I like Titus. Titus was not one of these 50 characters to start. He was a fucking Joe Nobody Space Marine captain who existed to, like, you know, tell a story and then disappear. I'm glad we got Space Marine 2. I'm glad we're getting Space Marine 3. But what's it tell you that Games Workshop is trying to turn Titus into one of these characters they can laser focus on at the expense of all the other potential stories in this wide open universe they could tell? Oh my God. I need to catch my breath. I've been in rant mode. I've been, yeah, nah, oh my. And ultimately, brings me up to the last of the three major topics of the stream, which is the Balkanization of Warhammer 40,000. For those who don't know what Balkanization is, that's when something breaks up into multiple disparate groups that all kind of oppose each other. And we're seeing that happen with Warhammer now. Like, it happened a long time ago with Battletech, for example. You got the people who only liked Battletech before the clan showed up. Then you'll have the people who liked it up until the end of the clan invasion. And then the people who liked it up until FedCom Civil War. The people who liked it up to the end of the Jihad. And then nobody likes the Dark Age or Ill Clan. But yeah, you're seeing that happening now with Warhammer. Warhammer is splintering off. The Warhammer community is splintering. It's fragmenting. It's breaking up into multiple independent fandom communities.
All call signs, check in.
Oh, Evil Autism. Evil Autism, thank you so much for the gifted subs, dude. For the 5 gifted subs. And congrats on everybody who got one. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, it's called Balkanization, and it's an actual concept in both nations and in terms of communities. Oof. But the 40K fandom is balkanizing and fracturing now. It's starting to break apart, and we're going to see lines drawn on what people consider acceptable, like acceptable Warhammer lore. I predict the major groups will be 3rd to 7th. Ooh, excuse me. I predict the major groups will be 3rd to 7th, 3rd to late 10th or 9th. I think Ashes of the Imperium will create Horus Heresy Balkanization in there. Probably up to Ashes of the Imperium. I don't think many people are gonna stick on with I don't think many people are gonna stick on beyond the first Ashes book. I've heard it's not that good. Not to mention the lore breaking. I think we might see small 40K sub communities form around the original Rogue Trader as well. Especially because that got a reprint, and thus the lore, the rules could be copied. I could see that happening. So yeah, we are witnessing the 40K community balkanize now. And then the tourists will be off on their own little sinking ship, doing whatever. As 40K begins to lose the cultural relevance a unified fandom is required to give it, and then eventually just flops, which is going to happen. We're counting down the days now. 40K is in a bubble that Warhammer, or Games Workshop rather, as a whole, is in a bubble that's about to burst. D&D balkanized after 3.52. That's why Pathfinder exists. Yeah, no, good. Yeah, another good example. D&D. D&D is balkanized around edition lines. AD&D, 3rd edition, 3.5. Nobody liked 4th. Some people like 5, I guess. And then Pathfinder. And then other similar systems that, based on, the thing D&D did where they let people create their own, variations on it, like Pathfinder. PT, hold on. I think I saw, was there a new chatter I missed? I'm in the middle of my rant. No, okay. PT Vin Caracas. Oh, yeah, thank you for the sub. Yeah, okay. I'm in a very terse Discord server and I'm just waiting for it to fall apart. It'll happen. I think it's inevitable. D&D for when you watch Stranger Things. Pathfinder for when, holy shit, we're in the trenches. Yeah, real. Pathfinder has its own issues, but nothing as horrible as D&D right now. That's for damn sure. Happened with Halo when 343 fucked up with the lore. Yeah, no, that's another thing. Like, there's people who only like Halo 1 through 3 and ODST. There's people who like all of those plus Reach. There's people who like, 4 but not 5. There's people who like 4 and 5 but not Infinite. Like, yeah, no, this and Star Wars. Do we even need to bring up Star Wars? Original trilogy only. Original trilogy and prequel. Prequel only. Tartakovsky Clone Wars is canon. CGI Clone Wars is canon. EU. No EU. Even the Disney, even like among Disney, there's balkanization. And it's mostly along the people who only accept Rogue One as canon because it was actually fun to watch and a good movie. Honestly, Warhammer ends with the end of the death. Space Marine 2 and 3, Bolt Gun 2 and 3, maybe the 4th Dawn of War. Yeah, I agree with that. That's genuinely my opinion. As somebody who actually doesn't mind Primaris Marines, that's where I'm drawing the line. Pathfinder's issues mostly stem from the actual world building of Galarian, but it's mostly weird shit like there's no gender roles. There's no gender roles, and there's a trans god who forcibly transes you in their presence. However, the game is built around crunch rather than baking pastries with your gay beardmate dwarf. Yeah, exactly, Ash. Exactly. That's why Pathfinder is weathering this storm and D&D isn't. All right, Nate. Hold on, Nate. Let me hit you with the slash shout out. Ignatius EN. Hold on, am I spelling it right? I did not spell that right. I think it's case sensitive. Yeah, there's Nate. Go give him a follow. He's okay. I'm okay. 100% with you. I'm gonna bring this up. I'm gonna bring up something not related to the stream. Nate right now, he's got an absolute dinosaur of a computer. This thing is like, it's got like a 1070 in it, I think. His computer is ancient. So he's like trying to fundraise getting a computer so he can stream as a VTuber without his computer exploding. So I'm going to put the link to that in chat. If you want to help him out, go help him out. DDR3, I have no idea what kind of RAM he runs, but oh my God, he's shown me the specs to his computer once. Listen, Jesus of Nazareth was playing Doom on this computer, okay? Thank you. Dude, don't thank me. You're one of the homies. I want to help you out any way I can, you know? Tea god that cracks your egg without consent. The jokes write themselves. They really do, Nate. They really do, Nate. That is... It's the way I've seen it worded when people talked about it. It's just Slanesh with nothing changed, but they try to write it like Slanesh is good. That's basically what it is. Honestly, hot take, fucking Atlas, the game people who make Shin Megami Tensei and Persona are more consistent with the Games Workshop, because at least those two entries remain generally good outside dumb censorship. And yeah, that's not even their fault, you know? That's the localizers. I can't blame them for that. I blame the localizers they hire. Give money to the twink or else, right, exactly. His rig sounds like an upgrade from mine, LMAO. I have no idea what kind of rig you even got, Salt. Like, you've never really talked about it. Pathfinder's weird fantasy D&D is modern political correctness. Yeah, exactly. Localizers going on their way to change everything they can. Yeah, the localizers aren't human. I fully believe that. They're not human. A human can appreciate someone else's art without sticking their own politics into it. Bo didn't mention Age of Sigmar for the rain. Age of Sigmar's irrelevant. Nobody likes Age of Sigmar. Listen, Age of Sigmar is like the Star Wars prequels outside of Rogue One. Disney Star Wars outside of Rogue One. I fucked that up. Age of Sigmar is like the Star Wars Disney content outside of Rogue One. No one actually enjoys it. They politically back it because it panders to their politics, but they don't actually enjoy it. It's like that dude, it's like that dude in New York with the new mayor of New York trying to eat the fucking Swahili food or whatever the fuck it was, talking about how great it is while it looks like he wants to fucking puke. That's the people who claim to be Age of Sigmar fans. And it's the same with Star Wars sequel and Disney Star Wars fans. They don't have fans. They have people who pretend to stomach it to push politics, and that's it. Age of Sigmar only sells because people buy kits these days for Old World. Legacy Warhammer fantasy characters appear in Warhammer 40Ks, but there's just so many. That reminds me of back in the Rogue Trader days when they actually shared a universe. But I mean, they don't anymore. But like, in the old Rogue Trader days, there was actual lore about or in the early days of Warhammer Fantasy, there were like chain swords and bolters that showed up in Warhammer Fantasy. But then when they came out with like second edition, they very quickly and quietly retconned it. Not New York City, San Francisco. Is there a fucking difference? Is there really a difference at this point between New York City and San Francisco? I only like the Skaven because I never get AOS. I'm just going to 3D print Skaven for 40K. Yeah, that's cool. If you want to play Grimdark Future, they have a Space Skaven army list you can use. But the Grimdark Future rules are not compatible with 40K itself. So you'd have to play Grimdark Future as a game. But Grimdark Future is also designed to run with 40K minis. So that would be easy if you'd have 40K players you could play it with. Let's see. You can get a chainsword in one of the Total Warhammer games. Yeah, no, Professor Donger, that's a callback to it. The Warhammer Fantasy chainsword was a old ass relic for Warhammer Fantasy, and then they what do you call it? And then that was an old relic in Warhammer Fantasy, and then the fact it's in Total War Warhammer is a reference to that. Space Rats, yeah. There's a sort of like, there's a sort of off-brand 40K it's a small-time game called Grimdark Future. It's designed to be like a minis-agnostic version of 40K, more in line with older 40K rules, like circa 3rd, 4th edition. they have a space Skaven faction in it. So yeah, that's the thing. AOS sucks with some good art and designs. Nah, most AOS designs are trash. Most AOS art is trash. The only designs that look good are the stuff that you could fit easily into Warhammer Fantasy, old Warhammer Fantasy, because it's following that same vibe. The rest is just over-designed MMORPG slop. You like the Deepkin? I hate the Deepkin. I hate all the, water elves, mountain elves. Man, stick to high elves and dark elves and wood elves. Stick to the trifecta. Stop trying to be original where you don't need to be. The ground marines. Oh, okay. All right, hold on. I want to show this off. I'll show this off. For those who've never seen this, this is one of the few times Brava Alpha Busa ever cooked. Hold on, let me mute this. There we go.
Ultramarines! The majestic might of the Astartes cannot be contained in but one realm any longer! There are more emperors out there who require our glorious aid! Come with me, my brothers! We must spread our prestigious presence! The Ultramarines will be the greatest beings in the multiverse! Road Marines!
I fucking love that video so much. It's like one of the few times Brava Alpha Busa ever cooked. Like, man, he was spitting with that one, let me tell you. Oh man, it's like it really does summarize the problem. Sea elves are more Felmari high elves in fantasy was better than just fish elves. Yeah, no, I don't like the fish elves in Age of Sigmar. I don't like the mountain goat elves either. I don't like the fucking dark elf equivalent, that all worship Marathi. I think they're dumb too. Like they took all the basic concept of the elf trifecta, the wood elf, the high elf, and the dark elf, and then tried so hard to reinvent them that they just made it boring. Alpha Boost also cooked with his 40K thread simulator video because no one could cope anymore about him not engaging with the Chud fan base. Well, I mean, remember he later, Alpha Boost also said later that he was a proud member of Antifa and basically threw the entire real 40K fandom under the bus. So yeah, that's the thing. Get the stream music going back again. Why do you need mountain/sea elves? Why can't you just have mermaids and satyrs? I mean, that's another question. Well, I mean, okay, because they already have satyr. Okay, they already have satyrs. Age of Sigmar had satyrs in the Beastmen. But why have satyrs when you can have elves? Another dumb flavor of elves. Antifa equals ain't we the fascists. Yeah, real. He's okay with Antifa. He's part of Antifa. He's not just okay with it. He's a card-carrying member of it. I mean, what do I expect? He's Swedish. Listen, it is rare to find a Swedish man with a backbone who wouldn't like completely throw his family, his people, and his nation under the bus for the religion of frequent grenade attacks. Let's be real here. I have an important question that I've always wanted to ask in Warhammer 40,000. Are Sisters of Battle enhanced like Space Marines or No, they're not. They are just so unbelievably faithful that they manifest battlefield miracles. That's their thing. Because elves are for fantasy fans who bitch at the people who play humans, but don't want to play anything actually fantasy. You know what? That is true. That is true. Elves are the most normie-pilled fucking fantasy option ever. Like, oh, I want to play something that's not human, but I don't want to be something too fantastic. That would be weird. Yeah, no, absolutely that. You start disliking him in TTS when he started making Magnus and Kitten gay for each other for literally no reason. Nah, that tracks with Alphabusa. That tracks with him. Oh, man. Sorry, yawning over here. If I had to pick a race in WoW, I would pick Horde and make an Orc warrior, basically. Yeah, no, I played because you're basic. I mean, listen, Orc warrior is more original than your average person's elf character they make. Like, that's just subjective. Oh, my fucking nose, man. Okay, yeah, no, my fucking sinuses have been murdering me all day, and they're gonna get worse tomorrow. Holy shit. Ugh. You have the Wood Elves, aka Yusei, High Elves, aka Deedlit, and you have the Dark Elves, aka Ara. And you have the Cute Elves, aka Freerin. Yeah, I don't know what kind of elf Freerin would classify as. Probably a Wood Elf or a Dark Elf. Something like that. I don't know. I don't really care because Freerin is cool either way. Unironically, Freerin being based as fuck, proving the heat graph meme real with her every word. Me picking the werewolf every time in a row. Okay, autism, you're not autism, you're not beating the allegations, all right? With you and your thing for werewolves. Freerin would be a high elf. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, alrighty, folks. Alrighty. Man, I noticed I'm picking up a little more stamina for yap streams. I'm actually being able to go yapping nonstop for 3 full hours. But on that note, who is currently streaming what right now? All right, you know what? Mama Akko is currently streaming about the VTuber award drama, so I'm gonna send y'all to watch her. Raid Mama Akko. Okay, setting up the raid. Thank y'all for watching, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna be grinding Winter Nexus in EVE Online at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'll probably be grinding it all day before that. So yeah, I'll catch you then, everyone. Take care. Have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow, and goodbye.
Out there, yes, clear. Clear.